What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 53 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name's Dave McRae I was about to say in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not in Atlanta. Tony's in Atlanta. I'm in Toronto. We're watching It Follows tonight. It's kind of exciting. It's a cold winter day here in Toronto, probably warmer in Atlanta. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
I'm loving this 80s porn music vibe. I dig it. It really does. Sounds like an 80s porn song. It really does.
It has a very very
shave the
80s.
Beard down, get the like classic 70s stash.
Right. Yeah, very 80s porn vibe.
It's cool. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, I dig it too. That's right. Always trying to improve, making sure the levels are okay. It's always going to be a bit of a work in progress to make sure I'll look after the fact on the show to see how the levels were. I did a bunch of tests, but we got a lot of great stuff. The super chats that are raised through this channel, and especially through Two Dudes, goes right back into the channel. And I picked up a new microphone, a new mixer, and all that kind of stuff for the channel and for these shows. And I was saying on a live stream I did the other day, Tony, I was saying that, and as we were talking off camera, we now have the ability because we want to get guests on. Tony and I want to get guests on. And sometimes when you're reaching out to guests, not everybody, but sometimes maybe they don't have the proper setup to come on camera, or maybe they're like, I don't know if I want to go on camera, whatever the case is. So we now have the ability as well to do phone calls, and I can take the phone calls right through the mixer and put them on the air here as if they are on like a radio show. So
you guys will be able to call into us now and ask us questions while we're live.
That's what I'm thinking. Not today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But in the very near future, Tony and I are going to work this out, and we'll probably get a number, and then
I can tell you guys the number. It's 1-900-BULLSHIT.
1-900 feces. I mean, that's what it is.
1-900 bullshit. Call me lover.
1-900 feces. And what else I got here?
Good start.
We are. I also got what did I I also have I'm gonna put sound effects into the board as well. Like this one here is a good one to have on.
Oh, fuck you, man. Come on.
That's great. So when anybody's, and then...
Okay, that is a fucking shit show.
Just shit like that, just to make it a more fun experience. We're going to have a lot of shit coming in, and it's just going to be a blast. Like, I'm really excited to actually be able to, take
sound bites from movies, too.
Oh,
because we're not using the clip, so therefore there's no copyright. We're using the sound bite. That's what we did in the radio back in the day. We take sound bites from movies as part of what you're doing as little zingers and stuff when we're on the air.
That's right. Yeah, we're always taking, always thinking about taking it to the next level. So I want to ask the chat room, how do we all sound? Now, do we sound? Now, don't think too hard about it. I'm not, looking for an answer if we sound great, we sound great, and just say we sound great. I want to make sure that we don't sound anything that's noticeably different from usual. Tony still sounds clear and good, and I still sound clear and good. And I just want to make sure that everything good sounds great. Tony sounds good, sounds crispy. I like that. Crispy. Sounds great. Cool. Okay. Because, when you buy new gear and you're setting it all up, you can do all the tests in the world. But when you go live, shit happens. And that's what it matters. That's when it matters the most. So tonight, Tony and I are watching the 2014 horror film It Follows. Yeah. And Tony, you did the poll over on your Instagram. I did the poll.
Dude, this thing blew Stir of Echoes out the water. It wasn't even a contest, like 75% to 25% on my Instagram poll. Around of the 800 people who saw the story, 500 of you actually voted. So that's more than half the people voted who saw the story. And I was like, wow. Because I actually thought Stir of Echoes would give it, I thought it would be closer. I really did.
I did too.
And not to say that we're not going to do Stir of Echoes. I know that's definitely going to come. But I will say It Follows definitely is one of my favorite modern horror movies. movies. It's really good. It's a good story. It's a good original story in a decade of lack of originality. It Follows came out of nowhere and really surprised me, and definitely one of my favorite current modern original horror films.
Yeah, I tried to do the poll on my Facebook, but for some reason, every time I went to hit enter, I kept getting an error. So unfortunately, I couldn't do the poll on Facebook, but I did do it on my community page on YouTube, and about 650 people voted. No doubt there would have been some overlap from yours to mine, because we share a lot of the same fans, I guess. I don't know. But nonetheless,
friends. We have the same friends. You guys are our friends.
Friends. Yes, friends. But it was 70, I think it was 78% for It Follows. I mean, it was just, I thought Stir of Echoes was going to do a little better, but apparently people want to see It Follows.
Like maybe 57, 40 something, percentage, like it was going to be a neck and neck, but it wasn't even close.
No.
Like literally out from the gate, everything was It Follows. Like nobody, then all of a sudden, like, Stir of Echoes had a few kind of trickle in, but I text you or sent you, I said, dude, short of a miraculous miracle, we're doing It Follows. Actually, I thought that was really good, and maybe something we might do more of, letting you guys vote in on what Dave and I do, because I like that engagement with you guys. It's just another way for us to engage with you when we're not live doing the show.
Well, that's just it. And, we're going to get to the movie here in a second, but, you're bang on. I mean, when 2020 was approaching, one of the things that Tony and I talked about, and even just on my channel in general, through McRae Live and through, everything that I'm doing, I wanted to, and you can only do it to a point. I mean, you still have to have distance there, but I wanted to make it more interactive and more sort of, really build that sense of community. And that's one of the reasons why I've taken a lot of the money that's been donated through this channel, purchased the mixer, the new microphone, the new this, the new that, because I wanted to have the opportunity to, as I said, we might set up a phone number in the very near future where you guys can actually call in and we can take your questions live. And that's another way, as an example, of making it more interactive. And then the whole idea of my show, McRae Live, is another thing where,
dude, you're crushing on it, man. I
appreciate.
I can't watch it sometimes. Usually, I take you on my run and just listen to you on my run because you talk long enough to cover my run.
I can fucking talk. Let's just say that,
which is good because either if I'm not listening to you, I'm either listening to Rogan or someone else or whatever. I've been digging what you've been doing with that.
I appreciate that, but it's another thing that I wanted to do, because, and not that there's anything wrong with the pre-recorded videos, but they're not spontaneously interactive in the moment. And I wanted another example of being able to connect with you guys live in the moment. That doesn't mean I'll, because I tend to get, a couple hundred people watching at one time. So I always do my best to answer as many questions as I can, but the opportunity's there. And that's now 4 times a week with me, once with you, but you're going to come on, McRae Live on occasion. And so there'll be more Tony as well. I'm going to get my buddy Bruce on the show, and then I'm going to reach out, get Cecil on and get it.
Yes, guys, we know we're going to get the boys over at Wham and Cody Leach. I know those
100%.
I get that. Like every week we got to get 100%. Messages. When are you guys getting Wham on? When are you getting They're coming. They're scheduling.
They are 100%. And I reached out to Mike from Wham a couple of weeks ago. We were trying to set it up for our first show of 2020, but our schedules just didn't align. So we are always trying to do that, and we will definitely do it. So yeah, new things coming in 2020, always trying to up the game, improve the production value, and just keep it interesting and more fun to watch and listen to for you guys. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. All right. So Tony, should we get over to
It Follows?
It Follows, ladies and gentlemen.
Translation, don't be silly, wrap your willy, because you can get a girl pregnant if you do a one-night stand.
Wow, fascinating. I had no idea. I'm learning
this was
something.
Such a, poster board for protected sex, you know what I mean? God damn, man. I was like, could you make it any more obvious?
I'm learning something. It's just fantastic. All right, so here's where we are with the movie. I am lined up. Tony and I both have Northern Lights Films Presents on the screen paused. So if you want to watch along with us, now obviously if you're new to this show, obviously you won't be able to see or hear the movie for obvious reasons. But if you want to watch along with us, Northern Lights Films Presents is on the screen. That's where we have it paused. So
the font with the black background, Northern Light.
Yes, that's right.
Present.
Yeah.
It's not like a logo or anything. It's just the basic font.
Not the studio logo, but the actual text. All right, Tony, you ready?
Ready.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom
Dude, I haven't
production.
seen this movie in a minute, though. I mean, it's been a little bit, so I'm going to be a little rusty here.
It's been a little while since I've seen it, too. And I remember the first time. I love this opening shot.
I love the opening shot. Halloween. It just felt like, oh, okay, this is familiar.
This is a Dave McRae shot. I mean, if I don't toot my own horn on a lot, but I just want to say, yeah, this is totally because every time I make a Halloween movie, but then again, like you said, it's really a Halloween shot, so I can't take credit for that kind of thing because it's a fucking Halloween. It's a fucking Halloween shot.
And I like the creativeness of the use of kind of like the steady cam opening shot. You know what I mean? Like it's a different execution of it rather than going up to the house like you saw in Halloween. They follow the girl out, and now you're center framed with her on the street. I thought again, very very creative execution on that. Even the little subtleties of the background, just to kind of give you the sense of the average American town that you're getting.
That's right.
That's right. The cars driving in the background. It just gives you the sense of like anybody can relate to this community and what's being shown to us at the moment.
100%. And this is. Do you know if this was shot on 16? Was it shot on 16?
I think so.
Or was it digital?
Hold on.
But no, I mean the whole visual aesthetic, the look, the color grade that they did in post-production, I really like this. The lighting feels very natural, very real. We've all been outside at twilight, or maybe it's dawn, maybe it's early in the morning. I can't remember now. I haven't seen the movie in a while. But we've all been outside during this kind of thing.
It was done on the Ari Alexa Plus.
The Alexa, okay, so
and the red.
Okay,
on both of those.
All right. Well, then the color grade, they just did a fantastic job.
They nailed. If they did this digitally, damn, this is
well, it still probably was digital
film as you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's still probably digital. But
well, yeah, they did the red and the Ari. Alexa Plus camera. So those two are digital now. You're right, dude. Totally. Like, the grading on this that they did to give you that film look. So it can be done, folks.
Absolutely.
Look at it right here. You're getting a film vibe.
Now, I understand that the concept of this movie
negative space with her just out there by herself. I fucking love that's negative space, folks. That is beautiful. Like fucking. I love those types of shots.
It's fucking fantastic. It's fucking fantastic.
And totally, they're just using the headlights here. Because everything just drops off into blackness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Although I think there's a rim light behind her. I'm seeing it now. I love spotting those little things out in a movie. Yeah, seeing it coming off the edge of her shoulders.
The concept of this movie, I understand, is an acquired taste, and I get that it can be. It's got a cerebral element to it. It's you're either gonna like it or you're not. It might seem like really, so I'm just gonna have sex and this little thing I pass. But what I like about this movie, that's a creepy shot. What I like about this movie,
I love it.
Absolutely reminds me of the girl on the beach in Jaws or something. What I do like about this movie, and of course this is no surprise, is the mood and atmosphere. I have to say, there's a scene coming up later in the film where the girl is. Do you remember when she's on the swing or something at night, just sitting there?
Yes.
Really? Yes. Oh my God! It was beautifully done. It was beautifully done. Now, of course, there's some things I don't like, but I applaud the attempt. I mean, even me, I'm not, okay, like the story and the whole what it actually is that's following. Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would have done, but I certainly applaud the pacing and the execution because they did a great job on creating a very strong sense of an ominous impending doom.
Yep.
And that was really well done. it's my kind of thing. Now, I don't know if I would have chosen the reason for that. You have sex, this is entity, all that. I probably would have done something different, but I love the pacing and the slow, pensive sort of vibe to it, and you know, the mysteriousness of it. I do appreciate that.
Sure.
Oh, there were a couple of super chats that came in. Let me see if I can grab them here. There was a super chat that came in from Infiltrator. Says, hello, I don't have time right now, but I just wanted to stop by and say hi. I'll be sure to watch this during lunch at school tomorrow. Alrighty, Knightley, yes. Hey, Knightley, how are you? Knightley's a great supporter of the channel. Great for you to tune in, offer a super chat. Really appreciate that, buddy. Another
by the way, how do you pronounce this chick's name? I know it's Monroe. Is it her real name
or her real name or her?
Yeah, her real name. Is it Micaiah?
I have no idea.
I don't know how she pronounced it, but she's fucking hot.
Chat room let you know. David Quintanilla says, so is it weird that I've never seen, is it weird, I'm assuming you mean, that I've never seen this movie and still watch with you guys? Haha, enjoy the movie, my two dudes. No, it's not weird at all. Not weird at all. It's one of those films that, you know, it's an independent feature that a lot of people did see, but a lot of people didn't see. It's not like it was a massive, you know, cultural phenomenon
creative.
Or something.
I will say that again, in a decade with very little original creative films, whether it's horror or drama or whatever, it landed with me very well. I really liked its originality.
Yeah,
it almost doesn't even need a sequel. I feel like a sequel would spoil it.
Oh, I hope there isn't a sequel, is there?
I think not. There's It Followed too that's coming.
Ah, fuck. Okay, but here's the thing. There's two things I want to say. Obviously, what I like about this, and this was, well, obviously it was deliberately done, and I'm sure Stranger Things had an influence on that. Oh no, this was before Stranger Things. This was 2014. Stranger Things was 2016. Excuse me, I stand corrected. What I will say is that, okay, so that makes it even more interesting, is the creative choice to set it in an environment and in a time that is very difficult to nail down. It looks like sometimes this looks like this movie takes place in the 80s.
Sure.
Because you look at the cars.
But then you look at her scrolling through her thing, and that's very modern.
Right. It's very weird. The wallpaper, the clothing, the couch, everything just feels kind of 80s. And then she's scrolling through something that would not have existed 35 years ago or so. So Correct. That is a creative choice that I find really interesting. And the other thing I wanted to say is that,
and then her TV, you know what I mean? She's got the old school TV. It's like, I love the nostalgia vibe. And you're right. This is definitely before Stranger Things came onto the scene. But you're right. When she's scrolling through her little book there, the little shelf thing, that's a very modern, you know, so you're right. It's hard to decipher what time frame does this take place in, you know?
That's right.
Is it some type of alternate world that we're half advanced, but we're not advanced fully to where we are today, technology wise? Like it makes you think. It's one of those movies that if you peel back, it's got layers.
Yes. Yeah. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I like that, sort of like an alternate universe or an alternate reality or something like that. But I think what sort of, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think one of the things that sort of sets people kind of, or leaves kind of a bad taste in people's mouths, you know, with this movie is the I'm going to say something that's totally not grammatically correct at all, but the untangibility of it. And what I mean by that is that it's kind of like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it's all about. It's kind of like when, you know, how a lot of people hate the idea that, oh, it was just a dream, or, oh, it was just, this is like, oh, so it's just an entity, a weird, oh, I thought it was going to, you know, and some people are kind of like, they can't grab onto that. It doesn't feel, you know, good enough that that's the explanation for this thing. Because I think most horror fans probably like the vibe of the movie and like the mood of the movie and like the suspense and the eeriness of the movie. But then I know there are some people that are like, no, that was stupid. That's what it was. You know, I can understand that.
Can't please everybody, you know?
No, you can't. You certainly can't.
See, and the interesting thing is the lack of people on their iPhones. You know what I mean? So again, it's that misdirect of you're not seeing people doing this and texting and whatnot, what you would expect in a crowd of people here. But so far, you're not seeing any type of modern technology other than the girl scrolling through her little clamshell thing.
That's right. That's right. And even the cars, right? I mean, I think the cars are all sort of older, not old, but like, they don't look modern, I don't think. Stand to be corrected, though.
Double check and look at it again, pay a little closer attention.
Yeah. Let's see here. In the chat room, everybody's having a good time.
You got all the super chats,
people.
right?
I did. There were 2 super chats. I got them. Robert Ford says, this will be the second time I've seen It Follows and can't remember much about this film, but remember enjoying it. Do you guys think they could have done a follow you? You mean a follow-up?
Follow-up. Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, I just think it's so good that it's one of those movies, don't ruin it by giving it a sequel. It has a really, I guess you could. From what I sort of remember of the ending, it's like you, it's been a minute, so my knowledge on the ending is kind of cobweb and dusty right now. I don't remember it entirely.
Yeah.
But I just think it's so good. I don't think you really need a sequel. I just think it would ruin the original creative film that we got here, because you're basically just going to recycle the same thing and maybe ramp it up a little bit more with the kill scenes, and that's what every sequel does.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It doesn't. I don't think it's interesting. I mean, unless you were to expand, the only way it would be interesting. But then you kind of potentially open up the is if you were to expand on what this entity is exactly and where it comes from. I don't think that was explained in this movie, what it exactly is, where it comes from, where it originates, what, you could go in that direction, I guess, but.
See, now these cars, there's a mix there in the driveway.
Yeah, that's
some of these
too.
Some of the cars look new, some of the cars look old. Yeah. So maybe early 2000s before the technology boom. But see, what that girl was looking at, it looks too current,
Yeah, that didn't exist in the early 2000s.
No, it didn't.
No. Isn't this where somebody comes across the parking lot or something? I like things like that. Like, I genuinely like things like that.
The old dude, the creepy dude who just stares and kind of, the little throwback to Halloween.
Yeah.
Michael it's standing there. Yeah, here he is.
This kind of stuff is great.
Oh, it's great. Sure. It's like creepy, like, what the fuck? Your attention is on him, and then it's back on her. Nice cool rack focus there. Or pull focus, I'm sorry.
No, it's rack focus. Yeah, I can say that too. Same thing. Same thing.
See, and now they're drinking like a Starbucks, which is I'm not saying that Starbucks wasn't around back then, but the influx of how popular Starbucks has become. And even the way she's dressed is very modern. You know what I mean? It's not 90s for sure.
Yes. And
you know what I mean?
I think too, what
modern
it is
technology.
Yes, but I think it's the setting of the neighborhood. Like, when you look at the neighborhood here, this is a neighborhood that, and then of course see this old kind of van here, but this is a neighborhood that was around in the 80s. I mean, this looks like a neighborhood that I grew up in.
Same here.
In the 1980s. Yeah. So this isn't one of those modern cookie cutter homes literally on top of each other subdivisions, right? That are being built all the time. This looks like a neighborhood that was probably built in the 60s.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so when you
then you got a mixture of these vans and the cars that are a little modern, and then there's old school station wagon next to an kind of a modern little SUV type vehicle.
Yeah. I mean, that shot alone, that type of car in the driveway of that home with a guy washing it with long hair and jean cut short. I mean, this could totally be 1988 or something like that.
Sure, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his intent, to get us to try to figure it out, but never have but see, because you look at this car, that's easily early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon Conwell says, I thought It Follows was good despite the storyline. Oh, he says despite the storyline. There are a lot of people that really enjoy it, but you see, that's the perfect example of what I'm talking about, Tony, is that I think there are a lot of people that like the vibe of the movie, like the execution, like the feeling the movie gives them when they watch it, but they don't feel it's a payoff. They feel it's a cop out of, oh, this is what it is. I think that's probably a common thing.
Nope. Now you're in trouble, Missy. Those are the rules. I don't make the rules. You have sex in a horror movie, you're done.
Fucking happens, I'm telling you. Jesus. What are you doing, you son of a bitch?
Fuck you, man. Come on.
That's what he's about to do.
That's what it is. He's into it. He's into it. See, because you think like, and I will say this, I mean, the ingenious of this movie, the way it's shot, and I don't mean it's genius like Kubrick genius, but what I'm saying is that what I do like about it is that because of what we're used to, you're expecting something physically to manifest, something physically to be there. You know, that somebody is literally watching them. Now, when you set it up like there's that old man that's watching them from the window, now that goes into your psyche. And now, you're watching a scene like this and you're waiting for somebody to show up or somebody to appear, and nobody does, and that's it's smart. I mean, he had there was some good concepts here.
Sure.
Some good concepts for sure. And it's
thank you, Lee. It's pronounced Mika. Mika. That's how she pronounced it.
Mika. Todd Fayer says, you missed my super chat. Did I, Todd? I did answer it. Todd, do you remember last week? I answered it, Todd, on one of the patron live AMAs. I don't know if you remember that, Todd, but I did, unless you're talking about another super chat. Yeah, well, too bad, bitch. You're going down. You're going down.
Literally. Or you just
literally. That's right. That's right. Mr. Movie Buff 01 says, where are we? We are about 16 minutes, 50 seconds into the movie. The main actor, the girl here is in the car with the guy. The guy's on her back. He's being all like Young and the Restless soap opera. Hi. Hello.
Now would be a good time to play your porno music.
Oh, you're right. My porno music. Oh, I wish I should have porno music. I can't. That's our intro.
That's a new
man.
thing to add into next week.
Yes, I should totally do that. I wonder if I could do that now, on the fly. Porno music. Porno music, ladies and germs. Ladies and germs. Jerpin says, Young and the Restless. That's right. Mr. Movie Buff says, okay, thanks. Todd Esking. The Collector is great. Part 3 coming this year. I have yet to see those.
I haven't seen that either.
Now, I haven't seen this movie in a while like you. There's something about this. I think it's this scene. I remember there being something. I remember at the end of the movie thinking to myself that there were a few creative decisions that the director made and the writer made that I didn't buy into. That it didn't make any sense why somebody would do that. And I forget what those decisions were, but I think it has something to do with this scene here, and I forget now. Yes, Todd, it did go through. Todd, let me go back. Maybe I did answer the one that you sent last week, Todd, that went through just as we were logging off. I did answer that one the other day when you were live. You were there, and I'm sure you remember that. But let me just go back and make sure that there wasn't another one that I missed. Let's see here. Oh, there was one that came in. It must have gone past. That's so strange. It is here, and it's a very generous one. Thank you very much, Todd. He says, hey guys, what's up? So what do you think of leaked Halloween script? It makes the movie look like a bigger shit show than Halloween 2018. Well, let me just quickly say this, Todd, that it was denied by Ryan Turek, who's a producer on Halloween Kills, that this is in fact a leaked script to what they're doing. Now, watch my, I'll quickly say this, that I had a look at the first 20 pages of this supposed Reddit leaked script, And the reason why I wanted to look at it myself was because I wanted to see the structure of the script and the format, because there's a very specific way of structuring a script and writing a script. It's not like writing a novel or a book. And if you are a script writer, a professional, then it would be very apparent when I look at your script, wow, this guy knows how to write a screenplay. If you don't know what you're doing and you just are, you're using Word and you're there, it would be very apparent looking at it that, okay, this is crap. This is not real at all because there's so many formatting mistakes. Well, I will say that having looked at the first 20 pages, the formatting is correct. So whoever wrote it knows how to write a screenplay. Now, whether it's legitimate or not, who knows? There are people saying it is, but you have the producer from Halloween saying it's not. So, I have no idea, but
same here. I haven't read, watched, or seen anything related to the new Halloween films. I don't know. I'm going into this film, so far so good, completely blindfolded. I don't want to know anything. I haven't watched a video on a speculation or a guess, or I haven't read any news stories. I know just a few of the casting and hello, naked woman. Sorry, I just had to, I had an ADD moment there. So the naked woman on screen.
I should have Billy D. Williams going, hello, what have we here?
Hello, what have we here? Yeah. So, I want to go into this because I think when I don't read anything, I have a feeling I'm going to go into this film. Well, I know I'm going to go into this film with no expectations, and I think I'm going to enjoy it more rather than trying to spoil myself and rather trying to find out every little detail, look at every photograph and try to digest what, we're looking at. I don't want to do that. I just want to go into this totally blindfolded. Maybe it's still going to suck and maybe I'm still going to have the same feeling, but I think that was in part why I got burnt out from the 2018 film, is because you remember we were doing so many damn videos on that. I think just our own expectations, were there that it was never going to meet, and
right. So
I don't want to do that, so I can't tell you. I haven't read it. And I'm not going to read it until maybe afterwards. I'll catch up to it in October after I see the film.
I talk more about this on my on Friday's McRae Live. So if you go back and watch episode 5, I think it's episode 5 of McRae Live, I talk about it there. So it's yeah. Yeah, there's something about that scene
that was creepy as fuck and beautifully filmed.
Yes, but by the end of the movie, I remember thinking that there's logic issues with it, and I can't remember what that was now. But anyway, I'm sure it'll eventually come to me. But yeah.
Yeah, see, she's reading from her little clamshell thing. That again, that brings us now to current times.
It really is what really makes this feel like it is the setting. I mean, these homes are older homes. So they were it has that 80s vibe because of the furniture in the homes and because of the homes themselves. Mm-hmm. That's why.
Totally agree.
Yeah, 100%. Super chat comes in from Emil
Bjorklund.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right? I think it's
Bjorklund. Emil Bjorklund. Thank you. Hopefully we're saying that right, buddy. Thank you so much for the super chat. I believe that's a Swedish currency, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Dave and Tony, what kind of flaws do you guys notice in Halloween 78? Love the movie to death. Well, I mean, there's just some. I mean,
there's like some editing errors, but other than that, it's the way Tommy Lee Wallace said it. He said it best. That movie was cut together like butter. I mean, there really was almost very little flaw, to the film. That their editing process for them was so easy. Again, minus some little things. You see a puff of smoke come into scene, which lasts for a millitenth of a second. You see, goddamn that ass. Sorry, you should have been recording that, Dave.
See that? What? See, you got to send me an MP3 of you saying that, and I'll fucking pop it into the mixer. That's what I'll do.
A T-shirt says "Goddamn that ass."
You do have to get that. what the hell was I going to say now? I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Just things like that. I mean, it's a very simple movie.
People in the background, like crew members that were in a couple scenes,
That's
just
true.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like I'm reaching to find something negative about the original Halloween film because it's literally almost the perfect movie.
Yeah. You got PJ Souls, tripping over the dolly track when there's the
But it
tracking
goes
shot
because
of
she's supposed to be drunk.
Right,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
It works. It works, yeah. It's such a simple movie that there wasn't a lot of room to have those mistakes. So there's nothing major really, but I mean, it's a bit dated now. I mean, other than that, maybe it's a bit dated, but It's an older film. Psycho's dated too. A lot of those old movies are now dated.
That's true. We're dated.
We are. Blu-ray Addict says, favorite prison film that isn't The Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile.
Green Mile. Escape from Alcatraz with Clint is good.
Well, that's a good one.
That's a good classic one. I remember watching that back in the day. Let's see. What do we say? Besides Shawshank, right? We said Green Mile. Escape from Alcatraz is a good prison movie. Assault on Pre-16. Could we...
Precinct 13?
13? Is that's sort of prison jail?
Yeah. The original, right? The Carpenter one? Yeah. Sure, why not? You totally do that.
I'm trying to think, is there any... Looking at my movie collection.
That's a great shot. Just an old, desolate sort of parking lot with the cop and the...
Something I would photograph. That's for
it's great. Sure. Look at that breakfast, folks. Look at that breakfast. Look at that breakfast. You know what breakfast means, folks? It means break fast. You're breaking your fast. You've been fasting all night and you were breaking it. That's actually what it means.
Speaking of prison, though, for a split second, if you get a chance, you should watch the Netflix documentary 3-part series on Aaron Hernandez, former tight end for the New England Patriots.
Okay.
It's really freaking good. Like, this dude is from the same state that I'm from. He's from Connecticut. And this guy, man, this is like pre-social media. This dude was popular in my state.
Right.
This dude was going places, and it's interesting to see like the dark side that this guy had. Even going back to when he was growing up in Connecticut, near where I grew up. In fact, this dude played against my high school in football and basketball.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh yeah, but the documentary is really good. So in the chat, you guys check it out. The Aaron Hernandez Inside Killer Mine or whatever it is.
Tony, really you're missing some ass.
No, I'm watching that ass. I'm watching that ass, and you notice I'm talking and looking in this direction.
Yes, I can see that. You're totally into it.
I am on it. I can talk about Hernandez and tap that ass at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night, everybody.
That was not. That came out the wrong way. Y'all know what I meant.
Oh man. Tony wishes he was that faucet right there. Edwin A. Sordo says, "What's good, Dave and Tony? What's your guys' favorite horror movie pet peeve? Not necessarily jump scares in of themselves, although that is a pet peeve, but the one off the top of my head is the one where you leave the negative space as the person is backing up. And it's just there. So your eye is drawn to the negative space as they're backing up, and you know that, and then they're about to turn around into that negative space, and then all of a sudden there's somebody there, and 9 times out of 10 it's not who you need to be afraid of. It's the teacher, or it's the the best friend or something like that. I see that overdone a lot. I don't know, Tony, what about you?
For me, it's when you recycle shit from within your own franchise that we've already seen before. Halloween 2018. I don't like, and then you're trying to pass it off as if like we've never seen this before and it's all new shit.
Listen, I have a Halloween fan here that's upset about it.
Oh, fuck you, man. Come on.
He's upset. He's upset. I'm telling you, he's just upset.
Of course, I love this. This is totally a nice tribute to Halloween. It totally is, where she's in the classroom and looking out the window and the creepy guy's walking towards her. Again, it's not stealing from Halloween. I think it's a nice tribute to Halloween. Obviously, being a horror director, I don't know if he is a full-time horror director, if he does other stuff, but he totally, obviously, this was his homage to Carpenter's Halloween, but putting his own spin on it. Sure, and that's what I like. That's taking something, not recycling it and doing it over. He's making it his own, and I love it.
Right. I mean, that is genuinely
fucking creepy as fuck.
It is. And when I was watching this movie, I mean, it's got to, I mean, obviously it's all about whatever this thing that's being passed around from person to person. It's, you know, it's almost like a virus, you know, but I genuinely loved that shot through the classroom, seeing the, you know, the person approaching the old person who's about to, I forget now what happens here. Again, it's been probably about 4 years since I've seen this. I do love that scene in the movie where they're in the house and that big tall guy who passed away, 2 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He comes through the doorway. It was genuinely creepy. It was,
and
just
even the music
awkward.
Here has a bit of a Halloween, stock theme.
Little bit,
not like
little bit.
Again, not ripping it off. It's its own soundtrack. In fact, I think I'm gonna get this soundtrack because I do like the score on this. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
And building that suspense here with her and this old lady. I love it.
Yeah. Is that an old lady? I thought it's an old lady or a man. I thought it was a man.
Maybe
is that an old lady?
I don't know how he
she
properly identifies himself. So we'll say him, her.
Yeah. It's there's definitely, I mean, it's, I think most people, again, I don't know this for certain, but I think, as I said, I think most people who watch this movie do like the way it looks and makes them feel, but they don't like, but then the people that don't end up liking it don't end up liking.
Was this filmed in Detroit?
The reason that, you know, what exactly is going on. Was it filmed in Detroit? I don't know.
12 Mile Road. Usually when I see those street signs, 8 Mile Road, that's Detroit. Was this filmed in the suburbs of Detroit? Chat room, help me out, guys.
I don't know. Hang on. Let me ask Google. Hey, Google, where was the movie It Follows filmed?
On the website michiganbusiness.org, they say.
Because I saw the street sign that said 12 Mile Road, and that's synonymous for anything Detroit and in the Detroit area.
Yep. There you go. It's filmed there. It's filmed in Detroit.
Again, these center frame shots, man. Even though I know he's done it a lot, he's doing it so well. He's executing it so well.
Mm-hmm.
A baby. No.
A big giant.
Oh I don't know. God, if that ever happened to me, I think that would probably give me a heart attack and drop dead. If that ever happened to me. Hey, Tony, guess what? What?
Fuck you, man. Come on.
Hell yeah, MR.
Come on, man.
15.
Come on, man.
Eminem just dropped an album. Surprising. I haven't listened to it yet, but I
really,
saw that
Eminem dropped an album.
Yeah, he dropped a new album.
Eminem did. Eminem. Marshall Mathers, ladies and germs, dropped an album. Robert Kitzmiller says, what do you guys think about the girl in the kitchen scene? I can't, I'll have to wait till I get to that.
Has it not come up yet?
I don't know. I'm going to have to wait till we get to that because I don't remember the girl in the kitchen scene. Deadshot Ninja says, hey, Tony.
Love that.
Deadshot Ninja says, hey, Tony.
Yes.
Where are we here? Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Right. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony, have you seen Videodrome?
No. Have you?
No. I've not seen Videodrome. This music's all right. Kind of cool music. Another super chat comes in from Todd
Stranger
Fair.
Things, and it has a Stranger Thing. I'm wondering if Stranger Things got some ideas from this film.
I don't know. Maybe. Todd Fair, another very generous super chat. Thank you, Todd. Really appreciate it. I just believe that if Halloween Kills starts off with Laurie in hospital and somehow Michael finds out she is there, what is the motive for him trying to find her? Because he was not supposed to have a motive. Well, keep in mind, oh man, it's hard for me to answer this without taking 10 minutes. Motive is not necessarily, it's how do I answer this? I know how to answer it. I'm just trying to do it in the most concise way. Motive for Michael at the end of the day, when you extend a movie beyond a first movie, motive for Michael is prior history in terms of, how do I say it? I understand what you're saying, Todd. But motive If you believe that Halloween Kill Sarah is Lori in the hospital, when someone Michael finds out where she is, a motive from trying to find her because he was not supposed to have a motive. It was more to do with a personal motive in terms of a family attachment or, a prior history. Like when for him to be upset because this woman got away and nearly burned him, so he's going to go and find her, potentially, that doesn't bother me per se, because that's not really what they mean when they say he lacks motive. It's more to do with an ability to understand right from wrong, to understand what he's doing is wrong. He doesn't understand what he's doing. He's got no rhyme. Like as Dr. Loomis said, there's no conscience, no reason, even the most rudimentary, which means simplest, even the most rudimentary understanding of good or evil, right or wrong. He doesn't understand those things. So in a lot of cases, Michael is very instinctual. You know what I mean? And he's acting on impulse. Now that's no excuse. He'd still have to go to prison for the rest of his life, if he was ever caught. But it's one of those things where when they say he doesn't have motive, they mean that he's not necessarily consciously aware that there's a history with this person. I don't like that person. I'm going to make a decision. He's not necessarily making complex decisions in his head. He's just a force of nature. And that's really what they mean by that. And to go after a girl that got away, it would be like the lion continuing to find, the prey or something like that. It's be taken in that realm. Not necessarily that, because if motive is just anything, then you can say, well, his motive is just he got up in the morning because he felt like it. Because you felt like it isn't a motive. Like that would never fly in court. Why did you do it, sir? I felt like it. That's not going to fly, right? It has to be a reason that they can quantify,
Not necessarily true now, because if Johnny Cochran's your lawyer, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. In the case of, if Michael wants to he needs Johnny Cochran. Well, of course he's dead now, but yeah. That would be so for me. If Michael was still continuing to find or to go after Lori, that's not necessarily. It's not necessarily bothersome to me, because it's not because she's his sister, and that's the only reason why. Now there's more of a primal reason that she got away. And there's a primal reason now why Michael is going after her, because she got the better upper hand of him. She escaped. He's angry. He leaves. It's that animal. It's more of a primal thing now. And I think it works better that way rather than where's my sis? I think it just works better.
I also think in the original film with Halloween, I think with Lori, I think he looks at her and I think he sees Judith. I think he sees a girl who looks like Judith.
Right.
And that is the attachment that he has to this woman. That's why he's fixated on her. I think he sees that resemblance to his own sister.
I think, Tony, that's a very astute observation, and I think there is an argument there to be made. But he doesn't understand the complex reasons of why, right? Like
exactly.
He doesn't understand. It's instinctual. It's this force of nature sort of thing. He's not compartmentalizing these complex thoughts.
Exactly.
It's more of he's a force. He does weird and unusual things. Is this what you mean by the girl in the kitchen? Whoever asked
creepy
that?
Girl? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should have said that. I was thinking about the girl that pees. I remember when I saw this.
Creepy scene. I love this. Just love everything. The music, the visual shots, and just fucking well done.
It is. Though I do say I remember the first time I watched this movie and it came to the peeing. I remember thinking to myself, maybe a little too much, but it's creepy, and I think she. Isn't this
little
where
Night of the Living Dead vibe,
Is this where the guy comes through the door?
I think so.
It's coming up soon, anyway. It's coming up soon. Super chat from Robert Kitzmiller. Michael's motive is linked to that of an animal, not human. He reacts instinctively, not consciously. That's how I see it, and I think I think there's I think when you go back to the original intent of the character, which is what these new films are, yeah, it's coming up here. It's very apparent with what Dr. Loomis says. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no understanding. There's no conscience. You know, he doesn't understand right from wrong, good or evil. You know, it's nothing. He's blank. Yeah. He's just an instinctual force of nature. So when people say there's no motive, they mean that there's no prior history to the people that he's killing. There's no logical reason to his killing. It just is. So that's what they mean by motive, not the act in and of itself. This is definitely creepy.
Totally creepy.
He just comes in. He barges his way in like he's one of the... Oh, maybe it's not there. It's coming up, though.
It's coming up. I know what scene you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and I just was like, what the fuck is this?
Edwin, my favorite King novel, because I know you've been asking this a few times. It's a toss-up between Christine and Carrie. I actually have the original, the first editions of Christine and Carrie up there on that shelf, right below the Myers mask. There's some first edition stuff up there, and two of those first editions are Carrie and Christine. So I go back and forth between those two. It's good. It's just fucking forever long, literally forever long.
Yeah, you're a big Carrie and Christine fan.
Very big Carrie and Christine fan.
Yeah, and they're great films.
They are great films. Carrie is literally like the book, movie, same. Like they don't stray too far from it, which is really fucking
Here it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to, but yeah.
And do they see him?
I can't remember. She does.
But
see, what's great about this is that it's the girl, and then they open it, and then it's like there's somebody out, like he just barges his way in. It's like, okay, I'm going to come in. Like, what the fuck is wrong? And that right there, just from behind her, like that was genuinely...
Love it.
It's because he's so tall. Right. And when you are tall, and I wouldn't necessarily say he's lanky per se, but because he's tall, he's got more vertical than he does horizontal. And it's that, and again, I say this with a grain of salt. It's got that Slender Man sort of vibe in the sense that he's this tall, awkward sort of like, what? Who the fuck is this? It's genuinely creepy. And I think for me, that was probably one of the creepiest parts of the movie. And then and then this scene here where she goes to the park and she sits on the swing and you can, and it was beautifully done. You can
for sure.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite scenes here. You really feel like somebody is watching her or something is watching her.
Again, just beautifully shot, love the composition of this, of her sitting on the swing. Love the lighting.
Yeah.
Feels very real. Doesn't feel like set lighting, even though it is. It just doesn't have that set lighting feel to it. And that's what I like about it. Love the shadows from the trees reflecting on her face.
Yep. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, Lee Daly, that guy did die. The tall guy, he died in 2018, unfortunately. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie Caziol? Tony, did Carrie die at the prom?
Well, do you mean like metaphorically speaking when she finally becomes Carrie?
I don't know. Maybe that's what he means.
Transfers from Sissy, well, not Sissy, but the girl who's no longer the girl that we know.
Sissy.
And ends up going fucking batshit crazy, killing everyone. Is that like, I don't know, like, is that what you're in, like the interpretation of meaning, like, did she die in the sense that she's no longer the girl we once knew? Yes, that would be yes, but no, she didn't die at the prom. As far as like physically, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Oh. Fascinating. Jason Nike says, I would like to see Jamie Lee go out in Halloween Kills the same way her mom goes out in Psycho. Not necessarily in a shower, but something shocking. I don't think she's going to go out.
I don't.
I think she'll go to the end, and depending on how they do it, I'd be okay with it. But some people believe that she's going to go out. Some people thought she was going to die in Halloween 2018 too. Don't forget. I want to go home. There's something out there. It's in you. You're the infected bitch. He says that to her. Let's see. Zach Axiola says, Dave, do you like to believe that if Donald Pleasance were still alive today, that he would be involved in some capacity with Halloween?
Be like 120.
He would be, if Donald Pleasance were alive, he would be
About 120. I'm close.
No, he'd be 99. He would be, because he was 75 when he died.
In 95.
95, so 85, 95 to 2015.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He would be
96,
95.
97. So he would have been 98 in Halloween 2018.
It's possible if he had lived, he could have been a part of it to somehow.
Possible, but if you look how frail he was at 75.
Let's just hypothetically say he doesn't go frail and he's a healthy Pleasance.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course he would be. Of course. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. Jim Dorsey says, I wish this movie had a better story and characters because the visuals, tension, and music score are great. See, there's another guy, Jim, great supporter of the channel, by the way, but we were just talking about this. That I said that I think most people who don't end up liking this movie, they really love the way it makes them feel. The visuals, the mood, the atmosphere, the suspense, the music, and then when you, the setting, and then when you find out that it's this. Oh, that's what it is. I think for some, it just didn't work for them. I have sort of mixed feelings on it, but I definitely can see why it wouldn't work for some. But the music, yeah. You listen to this music. I mean, this is 2 years before Stranger Things, folks. Duffer Brothers, calling Duffer Brothers.
Right. I'm feeling a little plagiarism going on here because this sounds a lot like I'm just saying, it sounds a lot like Stranger Things. And this movie did come out, 3 years before Stranger Things?
2 years before.
2 years? So there you go.
2 years, yeah. Oh, Duffer Brothers. We should get them on the show. Hey,
Did
Dufferheads.
you rip off It Follows?
That's right. The Film Addict says, hey, Dave and Tony, are you guys surprised there is no Donald Pleasance documentary about his career in life and not just Halloween? No.
I mean, his big time stuff before Halloween was a lot of that old Hollywood studio stuff. He comes from that system. He was in a lot of the big biblical movies too back in the day.
He was.
I think he was Satan in one of the films. I don't know which one, but I'm talking like the big films like Greatest Story Ever Told, King of Kings. I think he was Satan in one. I know he was a wise man in another one.
Right.
But yeah, he comes from that old school Hollywood days. So I don't know. I'm not saying that maybe, England doesn't do a documentary tribute, which is where he's from. But I mean, next to Halloween fans, who else would be asking for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Donald Pleasance was then and was until he died a very, prestigious actor, but he's a character actor. He was very rarely the head, the lead. Yeah. I mean, he was in Halloween. That was sort of his big kind of lead there, but he was a very well-known, respected character actor. I don't know if it's something that people are. I don't know if he, I don't.
It's like comparing Malcolm McDowell, where Malcolm McDowell's resume warrants a lot more of a documentary. He's done A Clockwork Orange. He's worked with Stanley Kubrick, so he's going to have a lot of shit to talk about there. And everything else that, Malcolm McDowell has done through the years from, when he was a little young kid to now as a grown man. You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because he also played Dr. Loomis in Rob's version of Halloween.
Right.
But Malcolm, people would probably tune in more to that than they would at Donald Pleasance. And that's not a diss or a throwing shade at Pleasance. It's just you look at the body of work and Malcolm has just done a lot of fucking good shit. Not that Donald Pleasance hasn't. Don't twist what I'm saying around, but there's a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's both. I mean, you could do it, on both, but I just don't think the demand is there, right? I mean, It's all about supply and demand. I mean, people often ask me, why, I mean, not ask me, but I hear this a lot. Why is it that major Hollywood, stars, they make millions of dollars?
It is, the old nudie magazine. So it just goes to show you the date.
Oh, that is an old one.
That is, they're not looking at Pornhub on their freaking iPad. They're looking at the old magazines. Right,
and that's another. Yeah, it's another example of a can't really nail down the time period per se. But it's often it's about supply and demand. I mean, the reason, and I'm not saying it's right, but this is the reason why sports athletes and movie stars make millions and millions of dollars and police officers and doctors don't, is because of supply and demand. And not that we don't need police officers or doctors, but it's, people pay a lot of money to go and see these stars, and they also make they make their teams and the networks and the merchandise and the this and the that, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And if you are somebody that can bring in millions and millions of dollars, then you will be paid millions and millions of dollars. It's just supply and demand at its core. That's what it is, and that's why. If you were in high demand, you can charge high demand stuff.
I love this panning shot that they're doing. One, because there's very little. You're not getting where the shutter rolls. It's a shutter roll is what it is. And shutter roll is basically where you get a kind of a camera shake as you're doing this spin around, and they executed that very, very well. It's a technique that I even do a lot in my videos for clients that I do. It's one of my favorite transitional moves that you can physically do in camera that you don't have to, create an effect for.
Right.
And they did that very smooth. I really like that a lot.
Another super chat from
my hat's off to the cinematographer.
Oh yeah. It's very well shot. It's very, very well shot. Another super chat comes in from Todd Fair. Thank you again, Todd. Very, very generous and great supporting the channel like that. If Michael acted purely on animal instinct, he could never have... Yes, I know. He could never have learned how to drive a car. You need certain mental and physical cognitive abilities, so I believe in this new movie, they will make him more human. Well, again, you're taking it too literally, Todd, right?
Yeah.
When we talk... like,
this is fiction.
He is there's that, but he is a human being, right? But part of the reason why John Carpenter wrote that he was able to drive a car was to add to the mystery and the unknown factor, the unusualness of this character, right? That's why it's explained away as, now, for Christ's sake, Sam, he can't drive a car. Well, he was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons, and that's the last we hear of it, right? It's even Dr. Loomis is like, what the fuck? And then Dr. Wynn is like, oh, come on, Sam, he can't drive a car. Well, yeah, he can. Those things, the there, the not there, that, how did he get the tombstone up the thing? How did he survive the 6 shots? That's all part of the unusualness of Michael. So, but when it comes to the original intent of that character, remember, Laurie was not his sister in the original Halloween. And Judith was not Laurie's sister either. So he was just a guy who found an infatuation with this young girl, and he lacked the conscious ability to make complex decisions or understand what's fueling his emotions. You can drive a car based purely on instinct. Did you know that? How many times have you driven a car, you're driving and you are thinking, right? You're daydreaming, maybe you're thinking, but you're going through all the emotions of turning the wheel, turning here, turning there, going through a light. And then you end up at home and you think to yourself, God, you were so deep in thought that just through the process of instinct and the fact that you've, it's a strange thing. Now, of course, you can say, well, Michael's never, driven a car before. How did he know how to do that? Well, it's a movie, Todd. It's a movie. You're not supposed to know those things. That's the weirdness of what makes it work, right? So, but the motive side of it, there is no motive. Right? Motive is not like, that's why you'll never hear, as I said, a judge say, so cop, why did he do it? Well, he just felt like it, sir. Well, that's not going to pass in court. You can't defend somebody on that. It's not a motive. They need a quantifiable reason, and Michael lacks reason. And that's what they mean by that. He doesn't possess the ability to make complex decisions and make the decisions to kill people. It's this rage, it's this force of nature inside him. I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong in the sense of it does take a certain level of cognitive ability to drive a car, but that's part of the unknown factor of what makes Michael work. You know, it's very strange. Who is this guy? How can he be there and not there? I mean, he literally in front of Lori dematerialized. Lori didn't even move her head. She's just staring at him. He's amongst the sheets. You look back and he's gone. How did he do that? I don't know. And we're not supposed to know. That's part of the fun of the whole thing, right?
True.
But appreciate the super chat, man. Really appreciate the support to the channel like that. You're a great supporter, Todd. Awesome stuff. That's how I see it.
I don't even know what the question was. But
the question,
I ditto that. I'll ditto that.
Ba-ba-ba-boom. Frank Riker says, we are talking about Halloween more than this movie. Hey, man, the super chats come in. If they're about Halloween, I got to answer them.
That's right.
But yeah, this, It Follows was, but you're right, Tony. It doesn't need a sequel.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, the story was told.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't ruin something that I think is good that just doesn't warrant a sequel. In a day and age where we're so sequel hungry for sequels, I don't think they need it.
I don't think they do.
And I love these shots, the POV perspective of the driving. They do. This is another one they do a lot of.
I love the road
to show the passage of time. This is a shot that they've executed several times, and I like it. I like it.
And because this was more than likely shot in Michigan, those shots there, I can tell you this just looks like, you know, country Ontario, Canada. That's what it looks like. All this looks like, you know, if you come up here, this is just what it looks like. Aaron Click says, Dave and Tony timestamp. The timestamp, 55 minutes and 40 seconds. 55 minutes and 40 seconds. And you have this old station wagon that they're driving around.
Like 2 or 3 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah,
right.
That's actually you know what? I got to say, you're right, Tony. It actually is a really good soundtrack.
It's a good score. I'm definitely going to get myself a copy of this.
Yeah, you're going to get it on vinyl if they have it?
If they have it on vinyl, I'll definitely get it.
Awesome. Like, listen to that.
It's just very subtle stuff, you know, and I like that.
Who did the music for this, I wonder? Who did the music? I wonder who it was.
You looking it up?
I am. Of course, I guess I could always ask Google. But I'm doing it the old school way and looking it up. The music was by Disaster Piece. Oh, come on. Who? Okay, Richard Verland. Okay, I'm just going to say, please don't tell me your name is Disaster Piece. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not, no offense to the guy, but you know, when anybody just takes a name like that and it's like, it's their name. Come on. There's only certain people that can get away with that. I don't think this guy's one of them.
Oh, it is. They do have it on. They do have it on vinyl.
They do have it on vinyl.
Yeah.
They have it on vinyl, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, fuck you, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up. We're doing shut up. We're doing a show. We're trying to do a show here. Sorry about that, folks. Fuck. Locked in my booth. Lee Daly says he's talking to Tony Blanco. Mr. Movie Buff 01 says Tony Blanco, he was supposed to say Annie, but accidentally said Lindsay. Oh, I see what you're talking about. He was supposed to say Annie, but accidentally said Lindsay.
Target practice at cereal boxes. That's such a country thing to do.
It's a very country thing to do. I could not agree. Super chat from Emil Bjorklund. Again, thank you so much, buddy. Really appreciate it. I'm just curious, which timeline do you guys prefer? The Thorn trilogy or H2O and Resurrection? I go Thorn all day. I prefer, well, okay.
Here's how I prefer it. This is a weird timeline. It's Halloween to Halloween 4, skip 5 and 6, get to H2O, and that's where it concludes for me originally. And then you got the Rob Zombie 2 films, and then you got the new reboot, which the reboot or revamp or greatest hits, whatever film. So that's how I look at it. I have somehow in my own warped little mind have made H2O a part of the first 4 films, not counting Season of the Witch. But that's what I include as far as the first 4 films, even though it's not.
Well, I think
that's my own way.
I think both of those are
Okay, that is a fucking shit show.
That's basically what I think of the Thorn trilogy and H2O Resurrection. I am not a fan of Resurrection, and I'm not a fan of H2O. I'm not a fan of Halloween 6, although I like it better than Halloween 5. And of course, I'm not a fan of Halloween 5. I think it's garbage.
I love that. And I love the reaction from the girl is like, what the fuck? Why did her hair just go like,
because
and I love it how like,
and then he gets thrown. Yeah. And nobody gives a fuck about him.
Such a cool effect, man.
It was. No, it was very, you see what's
very simple.
But why that works, and I'll get back to the question in a second, why this works and why it's creepy is because the rest of the movie is not sensational. You don't have sensational effects, wild, crazy stunt sequences or things happening. The movie feels very much like, if it wasn't a horror movie, you'd feel like you were watching a teen drama or something. It's very grounded in reality. So when you suddenly have something that's just a little bit sensational take place in a very realistic setting, it's extra creepy because it almost feels like, oh my God, imagine you sitting there and you seeing that. And then the guy gets like, what the fuck? Because the vast majority of the movie, there's no crazy effects. There's no wild monsters. It's all done through suspense and, camera work and angles. And like this, like right now, so yeah, that scene I remember thinking was really good.
I love that. I mean, they kind of know something's there, but they don't see it like she does.
Right, exactly. But I would say that if I had to choose between H2O and the Thorn trilogy, I would probably go the Thorn trilogy. But I mean that, I'm not a fan of either of them. Super chat from Frank Riker. Thanks, buddy. Says, due to enough internet chatter, the BBC is interested in Brendan Gleeson to play Benny Hill. Thoughts? Benny Hill. You mean
the old TV show there, the old comedy TV show? I remember that from back in the day, and with the sped up song when they start running really fast around the scene and whatever, and it's got this really quirky, I don't know, I got the song in my head, but I don't know how to hum it out loud. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't have a thought on it. I'm open to it, I guess. And
I can't play the song on here because of copyright.
Yeah. Drummer 72 says, me as well, Brandon. The 1981 sequel was awesome. Talking to somebody else, I guess. That's good. It's great to see you guys having a good time, talking to everybody. Lexi. Hey, boys. Have you seen 8mm with Nicolas Cage? Years ago.
Back. It's been a minute since I've seen that flick. Speaking of Nicolas Cage, National Treasure 3 has finally been announced. Man, I like the first 2 National Treasures. Those are fun movies. I actually just watched those not too long ago, probably within the last 2 months. They're movies that I enjoy watching, at least once a year. And it's been a minute since the second one, and I'm glad they're finally doing a third one.
Yes, the first one came out in 2004, the second one came out in 2007. So it's been like years. 13 years now.
13, yeah. And we're finally, he's Junior's in the process of filming Sherlock, so I can't wait to see that.
But Nicolas Cage, ever since National Treasure, and that's not to say that he has, but Jesus Christ, the guy dishes it like he's gone the way of Steven Seagal. He's in all these Netflix he's in all these fucking
Weird.
like,
I don't know. Like, I mean, did
what
something
the hell happened? Does he owe like millions upon millions to some sort of gang we don't know about? He needs to make money fast or something. I mean, he's in some shitty movies. He's been in a couple of okay ones because obviously it's about, you know, probability
that he did that was really good. It was within the last 10 years.
Well, there's Joe is not bad.
Thank you, Joe. That's what I was thinking of. That was a solid film.
Yeah, that was directed by David Gordon Green.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, he's so like, you know, I mean, if you do like 50 shitty movies, I mean, you're bound to hit one that's not bad. But it's just weird that he's been so like, you know, like God. And then
he was like here, and he was here in the 90s.
Oh,
like,
yes.
You know? And then, like, even in the early 2000s, he was still riding with Gone in 60 Seconds, the National Treasure movies.
That's right. It's
just dropped.
Yeah, it was after National Treasure 2. I'd say for the last 10 years or so, he's just been like fuck, you know. Bruce Willis has almost gone that way too. He still is in theatrical released movies, but he's been in some real sort of like, he just phones it in now too. That's weird. Maybe these guys all owe the same person money. I don't know. So we are an hour and 4 minutes, 39 seconds into the movie, an hour and 4 minutes into the movie. They're at the hospital here. Guy in green jacket is waking up. Long hair. He's just staring. Nice crossfade. Doctor's talking to a nurse he's hoping to pick up. Hey, what's going on? You wanna come home? You want to do something? Yeah,
wasn't he on the movie Annapolis, the Annapolis movie?
Yeah, he was in that. Yeah, yep, he was in that movie.
Which sucks because I love everything about World War II, and
he's just
bad movie. Like, I don't know, like with today's technology and ability.
Oh my goodness.
Like in Pearl Harbor, and I'm not a fan of Pearl Harbor, but Pearl Harbor was even better than Annapolis. I was very disappointed with the importance of how that movie is and the story behind that and what those men did and the courage, you know, of what they did.
Oh yeah.
Just horribly executed.
Yep. Oh, I couldn't agree more. But yeah, he's just in all these crappy. He's in one now that's on Netflix, some new one.
Stop following me. Okay. Like, why can't I have that happen to me?
Wait, in this movie, if you have sex with somebody, do you pass it on, but then it leaves you?
I can't remember, man. It's been a minute. All I got to say is I'm jealous of boy on top of
Or do you just pass it on?
I don't know.
Does it leave you and it passes to the next person? Or does it... Like, I know it leaves you and goes to the next person, but does it stay with you as well?
Yeah.
The chat room will let us know because the chat room does. So
she
it does.
Definitely not into it like he is. He's all like, "Yeah, I'm tapping in." She's like, "Would you fucking hurry up?"
Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, come on. Come on, man. Come on. Fucking do something.
Okay, so yes, but if they die, then it comes back to you. So if he dies, then it's coming back to her. So it basically never leaves you.
Well, that sucks. It's creepy. It's good stuff. Whatever that guy's name was again.
Me do a Fred? No, I can't do Fred. I can't do impersonations. That's Dave's department, man. I take pictures for a living. I can't do voices.
I can't do impersonations. What impersonation?
Lexi was asking me to do Freddie impersonation because I'm wearing the hat.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Welcome to prime time, bitches.
Welcome to prime time, bitches.
Oh, by the way, Dylan's new nightmare. Now, I won't say when because I don't know if I'm allowed to say when, but I did get word that production schedule has been made, and I know when I am flying. I won't say anything because I don't know if that needs to be out there yet, but I do know when I am flying to Phoenix to shoot it. So exciting stuff.
Mm. Edwin A. Sorto, what's good, Dave and Tony? What's your favorite nickname that someone gave you? Well, Tony is my nickname, really, because it's short for Anthony, which I don't know. My dad still calls me Anthony. He might be the only one because everybody else calls me Tony. Mom calls me Tony. My sister
start calling you Anthony.
My sister and brother call me Tony. My nieces and nephews call me Uncle Tony. Trying to think. I think he's
Tony
probably
two times.
Tony two times. That was your nickname for me. In high school,
Two-time and Tony. That was his name in high school.
no, it was just T-Bone. T-Bone was really, that's like T-Bone, short for Tony. T-Bone.
Yeah.
That's really the one that if I'm walking down the halls in school, that's what people got T-Bone. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would get a lot. So
cool.
That would be really it.
When I was in elementary school, I had MC, and I don't know why. It's not because of MC Hammer. I think it was because of McRae.
Were you too legit to quit?
I was too fucking legit to quit. Listen, I was so legit to quit.
They couldn't touch you.
They couldn't touch me. You can't touch this because I was too legit to quit. I'm telling you right now. No, I think because my last name is McRae. So I think they took the MC in my last name and just called me MC, and that lasted for a few years. And then in high school, I was sometimes called Mackin. Yeah, that's other than that, I don't really. Oh, my dad had a little nickname. Well, he didn't call me this though. It was sort of just kind of a funny thing. He'd call me from time to time Scrap Iron. It was after
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
A sport. You know?
Yeah, things like
but
that.
That's a common one for a lot of young guys, being called that by your dad.
That's right. Yep, for sure. Let me see here.
Dave, have you seen Avengers Endgame yet? Michael Myers would like to know.
No, I have not. I have not seen Endgame. I have not seen Infinity War. I've only seen 3 of the 22 Marvel films there are. 3
Well,
or 4.
I guess we could start adding that to the watch party. No. I don't know if we should, because that could
that could be daunting. That could be because I haven't.
We don't know what we're talking about because we're not the comic book readers, so we shouldn't be doing this, and we have no authority. And I remember those comments.
It would also be hard to comment because I haven't seen most of them, so I wouldn't know what I was commenting on. I'd have to watch them all first. Yeah. Edwin A. Sorto says, "Awesome, Dave and Tony."
That's just responding to the question.
Cody JB28. No, Cody JB. Maybe Cody JB28 says, "Is Dylan's new nightmare going to be good?" Well, we hope so.
Suck.
We hope so. We hope so. But we have no. We're going to do the best we can. That just
reminded me of Joaquin's SAG speech when he said, looks at Christian Bale and he's like, "Can you just suck in one movie? Can you seriously?" That's literally what he says in his.
Yeah, he's good. I like Christian Bale.
His acceptance speech. He didn't thank any. He thanked all the actors. He gave acknowledgement to DiCaprio. And then as soon as he gave the acknowledgement to Leo, he looked over at Christian and he's like, "Can you just suck in a movie one time?"
That's right.
So
just
that was
Can you
good.
Just suck.
Joaquin is definitely a class act. He definitely is.
Yeah, I like Joaquin Phoenix. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, we hope it's going to be good. I mean, that's it's got a great team behind it, and we're going to do the best we can, and that's all we can do. This is a steady cam shot.
Yep, nice, beautifully done. Not too shaky. Gives you the sense of urgency. That's how you execute a good steady cam shot.
Yep.
No, I'm not wearing Jonathan McClellan. This is not a fedora. It's close to a 10-gallon cowboy hat, but done a little bit different. Not quite the full, but it's like that.
Bantam 360 says, "Any chance you guys would do a live commentary to The Witch? I adore that movie."
Isn't she in The Witch? No,
I don't think
different
so.
Blonde chick.
I think it's a different blonde chick. Yeah, maybe I'd be down for that. I like The Witch. Can you imagine?
Yeah, your mom standing there with her boob hanging out.
I was going to say
that's not creepy.
That's quite the mom.
That's some like fucking Norman Bates shit. That dude's fucked for his life.
That's like
he's getting grinded by his mom. Yeah, that's some Norman Bates shit. Damn.
Awkward.
Very
awkward indeed. So now that he's dead, it goes back to you.
Filmatic, yes. Are you guys planning to do Joker con? Absolutely, we're going to do a Joker live stream. I think once you get, do you have it yet? Did you get it?
I don't have it yet, no, but I will get it.
Yeah, that's definitely coming.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to the Oscars if he wins it. I think.
Yeah, maybe the Oscars. When are the Oscars? End of February? End of February,
so, yeah. I think the only thing he's left is what, BAFTA and the Oscars, right? That's all he's got to win. He's won everything else so far. Golden, SAG, Critics' Choice.
I think so.
Yeah, that mom was a MILF, though. I do agree. False prophet. 100% on that.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. That's quite the mom.
I don't care how. No.
It's a whole. I'm telling you, the mom. Let's hear it for the moms.
Here for the moms, man. Absolutely.
Let's hear it for the moms. Let me see. Vanderhoff 66 FU says, "Hey Dave, I hope you play Freddy dark like Freddy's Revenge." Well, that's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. I'm excited. The thing that I'm excited about, just by being there, of course, because I've never been to Phoenix. Not that I'm not there on vacation, so it's not like I'm gonna be,
It's too bad you can't venture out to the landscape because it's a very epic landscape.
Yeah, for sure.
Arizona is very pretty.
I am excited to hang with everybody and meet up with Cecil and Miko and Vince and Nora and, crew and people I've yet to meet. Obviously, they're going to be part of the crew. I'm excited about that, but I'm really excited about Nora doing my makeup. I'm just so thrilled about this. I mean, it's totally, as I've said before, Robert Englund style. I'm in the makeup chair every day for probably 4 hours, getting that prosthetic shit put on. And that I'm excited about because I'm really excited about losing myself in the character. And that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun.
For sure.
Bum, bum, bum. She's walking out to the beach. Foreshadowing.
She does try to hook up with someone here.
Foreshadowing.
Because she knows it's come back to her.
That's right.
Like, I need to get laid. I ain't hurt.
But then, what's interesting about this is that
really, the best way around this from dying is just become a prostitute and you're set for life.
That's true. That is actually true.
You totally avoid it. You just hook up with
God.
Become a prostitute. You hook up with someone every day and eventually there's no way it's going to be able to catch up to you.
That is actually totally true. That is right. Tony is bang on. That is absolutely correct.
It follows. Just fuck a bunch of people.
Because you're right. Because as she's walking onto the beach here, I'm thinking to myself, she's got to have sex in order to pass it on.
Yep.
But then there's never, ever, 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 ever a guarantee that, the probability is so high that the person you have sex with will end up dying eventually, that it will come back to you that, you know what, you're right. Maybe the best thing to do is just to take up a life of sex, maybe get into porn or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
something
there you go.
Where you just, and she's attractive. It's not like she's, she's not going to have any issues. She's attractive. So, there you go. That's it. She just had to do that. Yeah, she boned all the guys on the boat.
Oh, she does have a little tattoo on her wrist.
She does. It says Tony Michael. Tony Michael photo. Look at that. Tony Michael photo right there. Amazing. Holy shit. Tony Michael photo, ladies and germs.
I like that, Jason Nike. What about Jessica Biel for your Pamela Voorhees in her 30s concept for a Friday film going back? Yeah, she's about that age. She's about mid-30s now, right? Because I think I'm about 5 years older than her. Because I'm a couple of years older than her husband, Timberlake. Or is she older than him?
Jessica Biel. I gotta think about that, but that's not a maybe. Uh-huh.
Short hair though? Would she cut her hair short?
I don't know if she would.
Rock that.
I wonder if she's too attractive. And what I mean by that is you might want somebody with a little more grit.
She was born in 82, so she's
37
38
this year. Yeah.
I don't know. So it depends. I think you'd want someone maybe early 30s, because that would line up with the time frame that from the original Friday to go back to that time frame. I would want someone in their early 30s, and it would be a one-off. There would be no reason to do sequels. This movie, basically, if you're going to do it and do it right, you would just create a really one-off film that bookends into the original film. So you actually have two films.
That's it.
With Mrs. Voorhees, and actually a good trilogy with that film, The First Friday, and Friday Part 2.
I'm with Frank Riker. Whoopi Goldberg as Pamela Voorhees. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you, Whoopi Goldberg
And her
as
heyday was great. Now
Gold-
she's just fucking off her rocks.
Oh my God, Whoopi Goldberg was great in her heyday.
Oh yeah,
she
Ghost.
Had
Are you kidding me?
Ghost and what's that one?
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Jumpin' Jack Flash. Thank you.
Even the stand-up shit she was doing with Robin Williams and Billy, man, was great.
Yep.
What was it called? The comedy show on HBO that they did.
I can't remember, but I know the one you're talking about.
Fuck, what was the name of that shit? They'll get me in the.
Now, here's what's crazy. This guy is getting shafted. He's in the friend
Color
zone.
Purple. Yeah, Whoopi was great in Color Purple.
He's in the friend zone.
Comic
This guy's
Relief.
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, the Color Purple was brilliant. Oprah was
Color
in
Purple,
that too.
fucking amazing.
This guy got the shaft. How would that make you feel?
Right?
That she won't
You'll
even
fuck
have
everyone
sex?
else, but not me. Really?
Yeah, not me. Are you kidding me? Seriously?
I've been there before, though. I can feel his pain. I've been there with girls before.
But baby,
where it's like they lead you on enough, they keep you
I
in,
want to
and then
protect
like,
you.
no.
I want to protect you. I'm here to protect you. I can't have sex with you. I can't pass it along to you. I like you. I like who you are. I can't do that shit, man. Come on, man.
Fuck you, man. Come on.
I mean, that's what she's saying to him. That's literally what she's saying to him.
I've been there, friend zoned. Yep, I know what that's like.
Or that's what he's saying to her. I mean, oh, fuck you, man. Come on. That's what he's saying to her. Todd Fair, another super chat. Todd, the man
Halloween?
tonight. It is. If Carpenter would have gave input into new Halloween movies, they might not suck so bad, but he only cares about the producer credit and has 10% input on score. He is a great filmmaker, but he wanted to make Westerns. It's more of a statement rather than a question. I agree that he wanted to make Westerns. I don't know if his input was actually 10%. It was probably more than that. If Carpenter would have given new input on Halloween movies, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Creepy naked dude on top of the roof.
Very creepy naked dude. That I do that actually in the summertime just to scare my neighbors.
I can see you on top of your house.
I do it. Yeah.
Kind
Yeah,
of
I do.
hanging out there. Your neighbor's looking up. There's Dave again.
Yeah, I'm out there, man. You drive by my place, just like, hey, what the fuck is McRae doing up there? And I'm like, hey!
Out and all.
Oh, yeah, Schlong is out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's photos of it on the internet. Again, Todd, maybe, but, making films is a collaborative effort, and it's a process, and there's many different creatives involved. And I know that I don't necessarily believe that, because Carpenter, he believed the film at the very most. Well, yes, at the very least, it was done after the first film. At the very most, the story was done after the second. So anything after that, Carpenter would have faced the same struggles as filmmakers do, which is, how do we extend this beyond its expiry date and make it feel organic and create something that feels justified for the character to continue to be around. He wouldn't have, necessarily gone a cult route. I mean, we might not have gotten that. He wouldn't necessarily have created, Resurrection. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten Busta Rhymes. So maybe there's certain things. But even if Carpenter had continued to make Halloween movies, eventually they would have sucked, because he would have run out of the same ideas. He would have faced the same trials and tribulations as a lot of people do when they're trying to figure out how to extend stuff. That's why he's smart and he's brilliant, because he knew when to stop. He knew when to stop and when to get out. And then they pulled him back in, because obviously money talks and whatnot. But creatively, the guy who's writing and directing it, in that capacity, he's only directed one Halloween movie. Let's not forget that, folks. And it's still to this day arguably the best one. So
True.
But thank you so much, Todd, for all your support tonight to the channel. Really, really, really appreciate it, buddy.
Lexi, Tony, Lisa Ann, or Christy Mack? Neither. I would give you old school Jenna Jameson before all that. I'm talking Jenna before she had all the plastic surgery done when she first came. Porn stars.
I know who Jenna Jameson is.
Yeah. Jenna was really pretty. Jenna, when she first jumped on the scene, had a very cute girl next door, kind of like Mikey, however she pronounces her name in this film. She has that very similar girl next door attractive quality. And then Jenna went off the deep end with her plastic surgery and doesn't even look like anything what she looked like back in the day.
I haven't seen what Jenna Jameson looks like in a while. Let's see here. Jason Nike says, Dave and Tony, you guys got to get Vincent DeSante on the Friday the 13th idea you guys have for Mrs. Voorhees. Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. He's really tied up now with Never Hike Alone. Like he's got Never Hike in the Snow, which he's going to be shooting very soon. And then he's got like 2 or 3 more parts to the series, so he's going to be tied up there. But I'll talk to Vince when I go down to Phoenix to shoot Dylan's New Nightmare, because he'll be there, obviously, and I'm sure we'll have I'm sure in our downtime, what downtime we will have, I'm sure there'll be much discussion had. So I'm looking forward to that. Howard D says Jenna got a MAGA hat surgically attached to her head.
Make America great again.
Make America great. This is a great movie. It's the best movie. It's tremendous. Look at this dive.
I'm gonna say, look at that ass.
Look at my daughter. I would totally have sex with my daughter if she wasn't my daughter, okay?
Man, it's gonna get interesting as this year progresses, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Indeed. Jason Nike follows up with, what about Vincent DeSante?
It's also going to get
McRae
very
Live?
quiet for a lot of people 4 years from now when he's no longer in office and people are no longer popular on social media.
That's true, too. Jason Nike follows up with, what about Vince on McRae Live? Yes, for sure. Oh, yeah. No, I will have some people coming down the pipe for sure. By the way, McRae Live tomorrow morning, 11 a.m.
Filmatic, favorite movie with a professional wrestler, No Holds Bar is a classic. Well, I mean,
No Holds Bar.
I mean, we can. The Rock. The Rock has done so many good, from Fast and Furious movies to Scorpion King.
I gotta say, for me, it's a cross between Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, for Hogan films, okay. Suburban Commando's good.
But you know what, though? I gotta say, No Holds Barred. Yes, that's
good. They introduced
for
Zeus.
Its time.
Yep, that was good for its time. I did like Expendables because it had Austin in it. Austin's my favorite wrestler of all time. So I have a little bit more of an attachment to that just because of Steve Austin.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I like Austin too. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of fighting, McGregor, baby, 42nd knockout.
He
Boy's
did.
Back.
He won.
Kicking ass.
He's back, and then he'll get himself into trouble. And
no, the approach he's taking now, the more calm, cool. I like this Conor. I hope he stays on this. I hope he doesn't keep shooting his mouth off like he did back in the day. I like this revamped, keep it chill.
I want to see a Conor Khabib rematch.
Oh, that I definitely want to see. Big time want to see it. I'll pay any money to see that shit.
Ooh, what's going to happen, though?
I think he can take him the second time. I do.
We shall see. We shall see. The Manhammer AR-15 says, Sir Dave, do you think Michael could have gotten the help he needed if he had the help of Dr. Van Nostrand and his assistant, H.E. Pennypacker?
Oh, Andre the Giant, Princess Bride. Good one, David. I like that. That is a good one.
Oh,
That's a very good one.
Yeah.
And Andre, man. Andre's just fucking, he's a goat.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you.
And I love that execution of how she sees it and they don't. And she's freaked out. Like the acting for these young here in this film.
Do you notice that the lines in the pool are upside down crosses?
Yeah. The leading line there, the cross being upside down. Absolutely.
They're upside down. They're like Kylo Ren's lightsaber, which is like an upside down cross. Those are the subtle things that you can pick up on if you know what to look for. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. That's what she started saying. Yeah, get out of there. Get out of the pool. Get out of the poo. Get out of the pool, everybody. Like there is some genuinely nice moments in this.
Speaking of wrestling, dude just threw a fucking chair at her. About to turn us into a table, ladders, and chairs match.
I would have had blood coming from her head in the pool there.
Fucking go Hardy
Unless
Boy
it missed
style.
her. Did it miss her? Did he fucking throw a typewriter?
I don't know what he's throwing everything at her, man.
Well, as soon as the object hits the water, it becomes lighter, so it'd be easier to manage. But if it hits her before it hits the water, that's intense. Why can't she get out of the pool? What is she like?
They're afraid of water.
No. Why can't she get out of the pool? Is she like stuck in there or something?
No, I think they can't go into the water, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha. So she's trying to be in there. Interesting. Okay. Is this just some random guy, or did she fuck him, or what's going on here? Fuck.
She just got decked with an iron.
Damn, man. It's intense.
Are these things not plugged in? Because I'm confused, because she should be electrocuted right now. I can't remember this.
No, I don't imagine they would be, because they're just throwing these things in the... That's cool. I like that. When they throw the,
it's a
the thing
very
on
cool visual.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not plugged in. Now, okay, the trap. Okay,
Right.
it was a trap to get her into the... Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's not plugged in at all. Great music.
Fucking beautiful. I'm
Intense.
buying the soundtrack as soon as we're done with the stream tonight.
Yeah, it's intense for sure.
That's like the excuse me, Jamie Lee Curtis, let me shoot Michael right in the eyes, perfect shot bullshit.
Yeah. And it hits, and thank goodness it didn't hit her.
That's the one thing to Halloween too that I'm just like, okay. Like I always have to every time
in the
man, I'm like,
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind it because it only
leg. She's half doped up and she's gonna pull out a gun. Never firing a gun before, and she's gonna get 2 bullseyes right in the eye.
She's gonna do it.
Hollywood at its finest.
Hollywood at its finest, ladies and germs. Hollywood at its finest. Let's see. Aaron Click says the It is currently in the appearance of her father. I don't know who you guys talking about. That's what she didn't want it looked like. I don't know what you guys are talking. Maybe we're talking amongst each other there. The false prophet. The false prophet. He's not the prophet, ladies and germs. He is the false prophet. It is her father. That's why she's really freaking her out. It. So you're just calling the thing It, I guess. I guess you're just calling it It. Is it called It in the movie? I don't think it's called It. I'm crawling up, man. This is a good shot.
Great shot. You can see down her boobs.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
No, only my pervert mind would.
Only in his, that's cool. That's a cool little visual. Because obviously he's, right.
Do they see it? Do they see the red blood?
I don't know.
Or does she only see it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
This is such a good flick. Oh, so now she's gonna fuck him. Now she's like, fuck, I got no choice.
It's a pity fuck.
It is.
Now think about this guy.
I wouldn't want that. I would not want a pity fuck.
I'd be like,
no, get off me. Die.
No, get off me, man. You're dying. Be like,
Oh, fuck you, man. Come on.
I've pressed that button like one too many times today. But I'm telling you right now, that's what I'd say. I'd be like, fuck you, man. Come on. No, get out of here. Now you want me? You want me now? Nah. No, play a little hard to get, for Christ's sakes. Like,
Exactly.
did he play hard to get? Did this guy play hard to get? No.
You shit on me for so long, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh well, now I'm gonna fuck you. Like, okay, whatever.
But as a man, if I was in the middle of that, there's just no way that men can resist that. At that moment,
I mean, if it was her
stage.
coming on to me, I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna do it anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm not talking about Roseanne Barr. I mean, I'm not. Yes, I'm dating myself. I'm using old references. There was a reference I used not too long ago, and I was like, well, it can't be Wesley Snipes. And my girlfriend's like, you've just dated yourself. It's like, yeah, it's true. I always use these old references. Yeah, that was a pity fuck.
Yeah.
That was just a pity fuck. Fuck that shit. That was poor guy. And now what? When did he get out of it?
Like, now my shit's about to fall off. Fuck.
Yeah. See, now he's looking down. He's like, well, it's over. It's over. It was just a.
And she's like, damn.
She looks so unsatisfied.
She
right
does.
now.
She looks so like.
She's not satisfied.
I can't believe I had to do this with this dude. Like, oh.
She is so not satisfied. She can't stand this at all. Look at her. Look at her looking at him like, that's it? That's all you got? And he's like, yeah, that's all I got. I'm sorry. There you go, buddy. How do you feel now? A life full of regret right there. A life full of regret. Jesus Christ.
Poor guy. I feel for him. Like I said, I've been in that dude situation before. I know what it's like. It sucks.
We all have been in that situation. This poor guy. Is that no? Who's this? No, who's this? Who the hell is rubbing her back? Her mother? What kind of fucking mother is she? And why is she not having sex with her or something like that other guy? Todd Fair, again, Todd, with another generous super chat. Wow, buddy. Really appreciate it. Do you guys agree that The Descent Part 2 was one of the worst sequels ever since the original The Descent was awesome? I haven't seen The Descent Part 2.
I haven't seen The Descent Part 2 either.
But I'm with you right there, Todd. Part 1 was terrific. Yeah. One of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Blu-ray Addict. What's your guys' favorite 90s comedy film? Oh, man, there's so many to choose from. I mean, where do you start? Mrs. Doubtfire, Home Alone.
Favorite 90s comedy. Man.
There's so many.
There are.
Like I'm literally looking at all my collection right now, and I don't know which one to choose from.
90s comedy movies.
I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire immediately comes to my mind. So doesn't Home Alone, because that was I laughed my ass off.
Oh yeah, that's 19. Oh, Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Yeah, that was another great one.
Great. Office Space was great.
Office Space. Yeah, another great one.
Groundhog
Clerks.
Day. What about Bob?
Mallrats. I mean, I don't know if Mallrats and Clerk are comedy, but they're funny as shit to me. Stoner comedy, I guess you could put them in. Dazed and Confused.
The Naked Gun movie. 2.
Yeah, I will say this. The 90s didn't really do well for horror, but damn, were there some good cult classic films that came out of the 90s.
Really
classic.
For sure, man. For sure. I mean, I really liked, I don't know I got to say, man, What About Bob and Groundhog Day are pretty fucking funny.
What About Bob and Groundhog Day are absolutely fucking hilarious.
You see? He's not gone. He's never gone.
Fast Times came out in the 80s. I said
Dazed and
Confused, right?
Yeah, you did. When I look at the shot here of them walking in the
Holding
neighborhood,
hands, and then it ends.
Yeah,
I like how it ends like that. I mean, look, you don't need what else could you do? I mean, really.
It's true. It's true. I like it too, and it's just it
has that kind of Halloween feel. Like it's still there. It's still out there. The presence is there. But you don't need to explore more. Just like the way the original Halloween ends with Michael gone and Loomis looking, and then you get the shots of where he was, and like that's what this ending is like. And I agree. I hope he leaves it alone. I really do.
I agree. I think that it's. For what it is, I think it's...
My Cousin Vinny, another great 90s comedy.
Oh, My Cousin Vinny is fantastic. Yeah, that's right, the two.
I'm sorry, Anna, the two youths.
I shot the clerk.
That's right,
I shot the clerk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, this movie was, again, there's...
My biological clock is ticking!
She looked great in that movie, too.
Tomei.
Oh, she was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I will say
crush
that...
on her to this day.
She still looks good.
Oh, yeah.
This movie, I have mixed feelings on, but I applaud the effort. There are logic choices that I think don't make sense to me, and I'd have to watch it again outside of doing this commentary, so I'm fully involved in the movie. But I remember the first time I watched It Follows, I remember thinking, well, why would you do that when you can just do this, and it makes more sense to do that. So I remember that there were some logic issues I had, but I really liked the execution and the mood and the atmosphere, and I applaud them on that. The fact that it was this entity that I have to admit, I mean, this is I think my third time seeing it. It's grown on me a bit because I've been able to accept that it is what it is. And I think if you can accept that it's not anything more than this, it's just a creepy, eerie film about this strange, almost virus, that this supernatural virus, if you will, that attaches itself, to those who deem maybe we don't know, or do we know, is it just attaching itself to promiscuous teenagers? Right? Or is it an adult thing? I mean, that's interesting too, because of the promiscuous teenage sex thing that you see a lot in horror films, and the sort of the symbolism and the, you know, the layers in that. So that could be something that you could look at there too. And, you know, but it's all right. It's certainly not, it's fine. It's fine. It's not my favorite horror film, but it certainly is pretty good. It's all right.
Gary Projects. It's an STD, a sexually transmitted demon.
It's a sexually transmitted demon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. All right, Gary. There you go, folks. Okay.
On to, the questions.
Yeah, let's go over to the questions. Well, we were taking questions all the time, but now let's focus on them. Let's do that. Open it up for a little bit here. And yeah, all right, what do we got? Aaron Click says, it's a nightmare logic type of movie. You know how nightmares don't always make sense in interviews. That's the way the director said his intent was. I totally
agree with that. Absolutely.
I agree with that, but that's not what I was talking about. There was actually something. It's something else. There was something else I remember watching, and there's some scene going back to the garage or the underground parking lot. I forget what it is now. I have to watch it again, not preoccupied by doing the show, and I'd be able to find it and go, oh, this, okay, it's this. But I get what you're saying, and it's a good point. It's a very good point. Maybe the whole thing is a dream. Maybe. And maybe the sequel picks up with her waking up. Or maybe with a guy waking up, he had a dream that he was a woman infested with it. That's interesting.
Maybe it's the origin story to Freddy in Nightmare on Elm Street. No, I don't know.
Anyway, that fucking Rimshaw is going to get annoying. Okay, the Film Addict says, which comedian do you prefer, Carlin or Pryor? I think I prefer Carlin. But Pryor's pretty awesome.
Pryor in his heyday, man. Pryor was fucking good.
It was good.
Carlin is good. Carlin's good too. Carlin.
Yeah.
Pryor was street comedy. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like Eddie Murphy, very raw, especially Eddie Murphy back in the raw days. You know?
That's right. That's right.
Carlin was intellectual comedy. Make you think. Yeah, you know what I mean? Make you think about shit, but funny at the same time, which is very hard to execute, and he did it very well.
Well, you know what? I just finished watching the movie Dolomite Is My Name with Eddie Murphy. And just hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was
awesome
stuff. Great film.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Great movie. But you know, there is a difference when you look at the Black culture and you look at, you know, where those families came from and where those people came from and what was important to them. And you know, there is a significant difference. And Richard Pryor, in a lot of ways, was Black comedy. I don't mean that people who were white couldn't relate to it, but there was a lot of, you know, comedians tend to talk about and make fun of and poke fun of what they know and where they come from and how they grew up and what is current and things like that. And Richard Pryor, you know, you listen to some of his old shit, and I mean, it's racy, it's edgy, it's very, you know, it's not something you would necessarily, it's almost personal in some ways, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? He's pointing out certain things. He's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But you look at somebody like Carlin, it's different, right? Like, as you know, Tony said, it's a bit different. But yeah, both, I mean, legends and both trendsetters. Absolutely. And yeah, but if you guys haven't watched Dolomite Is My Name with Eddie Murphy on Netflix, do it. It is great.
It's great.
I love
it's
that.
Really
movie.
Good.
Yeah, it's great. Eddie, I just love Eddie.
To see Eddie come back and do more stuff, man.
Me too. Know? Well, he's apparently going on tour. So
well, that's even better.
Yeah, excited for that. Super chat comes in from Todd Fair again. Thanks, Todd. Have you guys seen Human Centipede? I have not. Tony, have you seen it?
I have not.
No, I have not. Let's see here. Bobby Hall says, Dave and Tony, how would you rank the opening credit sequences in the Halloween franchise? Bobby, that is a great question. I think you asked that question to me somewhere, because I think I saw it, and then I've been so busy these last couple of days, everything, I didn't get a chance around to come. So thank you for asking it here as well. That's awesome, Bobby. That's a great question.
For me, it would be Halloween 4, obviously Halloween 4. For me, that's me personally. Then the original. Then, you know what? I will say I like Halloween 2018. That was a dope intro with the reverse pumpkin. You know, that was creative. I like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Halloween 2 is all right. You know, it's basically one, but just opening up the pumpkin and seeing the skull
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
I don't really care about 5. I really don't care about 6. H2O was decent because it had that kind of, it did have the symphony orchestra playing, and I liked
which
that.
was different. Yeah,
it was different.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, my 2 favorites would be the original and Halloween 4. And then after that would be the 2018 as far as opening credits go.
Right. I'm going to say, Bobby, I'm going to reserve my answer for tomorrow's show because I am making that the main topic for tomorrow's show on McRae Live. Because I had a topic that I was going to do, but I want that one. And of course, it's not an in-depth topic. It'll be, I will, but I can yapper, but I'm going to make that the main topic for tomorrow's McRae Live. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to rank on the fly. I'm not going to think too much about it because I don't want to think too much about it. I'm going to rank on the fly tomorrow, how I would rank them and why. Like I'll probably, give some insight into why, and then we'll go to the Q&A or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I got to do up the thumbnail for tomorrow's show after this show's done. So, cool. Great question, though, Bobby. Great question.
Cool question, yeah.
Yeah, because that's not something you see a lot of people talk about. I mean,
the intros. Except we talked about Halloween 4 a lot and how they executed that well.
Yeah, you usually see people mention that Halloween 4 is like their favorite, but you don't usually see people talk or ranking them. Right. You know what I mean? So that's it's unique. I say, Bobby the man. Let me see here.
Edwin Sorta, what's good, Dave and Tony? What is Tony? I can't pronounce my own name.
Toady. Hey, Toady. It's like Tony, but not.
What's the bravest thing you did in your childhood? Well, I literally almost put a dude in a hospital in junior high. I beat him up with his crutches because he sexually assaulted one of my female friends, grabbed her by the chest, and she came in the classroom crying her eyes out. Like we didn't know what the hell happened. She was a very close friend of mine. And, then you start hearing what happened. She told me who did it, and I knew exactly where he was. So this is literally class had started. I walked out of the classroom. I walked down the hallway to that kid's classroom, walked into his classroom, pulled him out of the classroom, and he was on crutches. I think he was faking an injury at the time.
Right.
Grabbed his crutch, and I started wailing on him with his crutch and basically saying, you ever fucking touch her again like that, I will kill you.
Wow. That's intense, man. The bravest thing I ever did as a kid. I mean, I got
expelled or suspended. I didn't get expelled. I got suspended for that.
Yeah. I got into a couple of fights when I was in high school, but I wouldn't, but I wouldn't necessarily say that was the bravest thing that I've done. I don't know. That's a good question. The bravest thing that I've done. You know what? I think when you're that age, unless you are. Like I played sports, I played hockey and I played some baseball, but it wasn't anything brave about that or anything. And I was out riding my bikes, and you get into shenanigans or you climb trees and things like that. That's not brave. It's just kids being kids.
Bravery too. I think of like things of like Army, Navy, Marines.
Yeah, but you know what though? I will say this, but it's relative, right? When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, some of the bravest shit you're ever going to do, especially for a guy, a young boy. Of course, I acknowledge that things have changed, and it's not, the 90s or the 80s or the 70s anymore, and how people, interact with the opposite sex has changed and evolved as well. But I will say some of the bravest shit, and Tony will be able to back me up here, that you do as a kid is ask a girl out. I mean, it's some of the bravest stuff that you do.
Still is to this day.
It still is to this day, but especially back then, because you're a bit naive, you're insecure, you're inexperienced, and you're just like. And back then, there was no internet, there was no Facebook.
No, you had to ask her for her number. You had to call her.
It was the home phone number, and you would call and you would get the mom or the dad. Hi, is Jennifer there? Or,
who's this?
Yeah. Who the fuck is this?
Oh yeah. I had a few dads do that to me a few times.
Who is this shit? Is that you, Tony?
Yep. I had that happen a couple times growing up.
But the thing is that it's one of those things where that can be so, like, I remember having nerves, like really being really nervous and like, do you think I should call her now? Dude, man, you got to call her now. And you're talking, you know, your buddy's over, like, just call her. Just fucking call you. What if her mom picks up? Just call it. Like that stuff, it sounds so silly to say it's brave, but in the world of being a teenager, in that world, that's some of the bravest stuff that you will ever do. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, and you're not always successful. And then, but when you are, it's like, woo, you know, or whatever. Right. So it's, yeah, I will say that some of my most nerve wracking moments as a kid come from, liking a girl and then going, oh, because like today you can creep her Facebook profile. You can creep her, I don't know, Instagram. You can find out so much about somebody without talking to them, you know, and you can communicate with them. You know, you can I imagine anyway, I haven't been in high school for years, but you can bypass all, you know, the security of the parents. You can go, there's so, the accessibility of people now is much easier. Now with that comes other major problems like cyberbullying and this and that and this. There's so much more. I mean, with the good comes the bad.
Did you get into any
but
fights in school?
Did I get into what? Sorry?
Ever get into any fights in school?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I did. I got into about 2 or 3 fights from grade 8 to grade.
Yeah, I got into 2 or 3 a year. I was a scrapper,
like
man. I just, you know, that's me. I just, you know, I'd shoot my mouth off. I didn't care how big the person, dude. There was one. I remember the principal looking at me. This one dude, he was a linebacker for the football team. He easily weighed about 150 pounds more than me. He's like 6'3", and I'm lunging at him, thinking I'm the same size. Of course, the dude tossed me like I was a rag doll, but I just had that mentality of go. And I remember the principal looking at me and looking at him, looking at me, going, "Dude, what the hell were you thinking?"
It's funny.
I just didn't care.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I wasn't like, I mean, I was probably at the same height I am now, like 5'8". So I wasn't a big guy, but I was in shape, and I ran, worked out, did weights and things like that. So there were a lot of people that, although I wasn't a big guy, I think because people knew that about me, whenever there was an issue going down or whatever, it was always like, now, you know, if I was about to get involved, and I had one of those voices that could, you know, cut through glass, you know, if I got angry or something like that, or, you know, and I think a lot of people were intimidated by that. I think a lot of the time, I got in about 3 fights in my whole life, but I probably could have gotten into more. But I think the intimidation factor, again, I wasn't a big guy, but there was just that, it was like a Mike Tyson thing, right? Tyson wasn't a big guy, but you
always felt like you had to prove yourself because you're the smaller guy. And that was me. I always felt like I had to prove myself because I'm only 5'10" and I'm, you know, I'm a thin guy. So it's like,
most of Tyson's opponents were defeated before the fight even began, you know, because of the psychological aspect of it. But anyway, that's going on. I'm not comparing myself to Mike Tyson, folks. I'm just saying, I'm just using that as an analogy in terms of, because I remember that. I remember being fit and running, and certain people, you know, not wanting to, you know.
I feel bad now.
Not wanting to rumble.
But there was a dude who I absolutely hated, this kid in school, and we got into like 2 or 3 fights in one school year alone, and we just did not like each other. And there was this one time in the hallway, I saw him come in, and I looked at my boy and said, "I'm going to hit him." And I just walked right up to him, clocked him so hard. My boy was like, "Dude, I heard that shit down the hall." And the dude just fell backwards. It was just one. Did you have a rival like that in school where the 2 of you just did not like each other? Where you just, it was my 7th or 8th grade year. I can't remember which year it was now. But we got a fight at a dance. I hit him in the hallway, and then we fought again at the school fair. Yeah. Fun times. I miss those days.
Those are great days. Super chat from Dreadmem77. I always get that wrong. Says, Dave, Tony, what are your thoughts on A24's Killing of a Sacred Deer from 2017? Very underrated psychological thriller. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but if it's A24, I'm down, man. I'm down. I'm going to have to check that out. Maybe I'll do it tonight. All right, we'll go for a few more minutes here. Let me see here. Mr. Movie Buff 01 says, I was in a grocery store parking lot and I saw this guy trying to keep this girl there and started hitting her. So I dropped my groceries, ran over, hit him, and put the girl in my car and called the cops. Good for you, man. Good for you. He says, what about an episode of The Strangers?
The Strangers. Is that the Liv Tyler movie? Is that it?
He says, what about an episode on The Strangers? Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Is that Liv Tyler?
The Liv Tyler one from 2008. Yeah, yeah. And then there's
Damn,
the sequel. There's the
11 years
sequel,
old
Pray at
now?
Night.
Or 12 years old
Yeah,
now?
12 years old now.
Dude, fucking time is going by too fast here.
It's hard to
Shit
believe, man.
shit needs
It's
to slow the fuck
crazy.
down.
It's crazy.
It is.
Nonsense how fast time is going by. I mean, dude, like we're gonna be 41 in a couple of months.
I know.
Like, what is happening to this world?
It's going by too quick. That's why getting stupid, dumb shit that's out there is just not even worth it. We're here for such a short time.
Oh,
Just
it's totally
do shit
true.
that's meaningful and fun and have a good time.
Yep, absolutely. Super chat from Nick. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You sure showed the tree, Dave. Oh,
I know what he's talking about. Yeah. Dave fought the tree. Sorry,
I
tree
fought
people.
the tree and I won. I fought the tree and I won. Ding, 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 ding. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Not the tree. It's the law, actually. But
Bobby Hull, not to be confused with Bobby Hull, the hockey player.
that's right. That's
right.
right.
What kind of food do you guys normally eat fast food? No, I don't eat any fast food except for there's a pizza shop, mom and pop. They're actually from New York that they opened up. That's about the only fast food. But everything for me is strictly health food.
Right.
Like today, I had a chicken salad. Not a Caesar salad, but just a chicken protein type salad. Tomorrow I'll probably have like some like chicken and vegetables, all home cooked. And that's pretty much the majority of what I eat. It's a lot of just health food. I don't really, I have my potato chips every now and then, like everybody
you got
else.
to. You got it.
But no, I don't eat like I can't remember the last time I actually had fast food. I can't remember the last time I had a hamburger. It's been that long.
I just eat nothing but fat, gross, greasy fries. No. I'm not a big fast food eater either. But if I am going to eat fast food, and it's not, well, it is fast food, but it's not it's not what you think of when you think of fast food. My sort of splurge on fast food would be like going to Subway and getting a sub.
Yeah,
like that's really
getting
it.
A good
and
grinder.
Yeah, something like that or whatever. And that's and then maybe I'll get like a combo, like, I'll make it a combo. So I'll get a drink and a bag of chips or something. I mean, that's really.
A grinder, by the way, for folks who don't know, is a Northeast term for subs, and heroes is the other term. For
big sub or whatever. Yeah. But that's about it. And that's not like, but I haven't been to McDonald's in.
Oh, McDonald's, I haven't been in well over a decade.
Years. I'm not a big fast food person. So I eat a lot of like Tony, I cook my own meals, eat a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm a big cereal guy though. I'm a big cereal guy. I love cereal. I gotta say lately, I like mixing my cereal. Okay. So I'll have Frosted Mini Wheats. I know it sounds like total junk food, but it's actually not that bad. Frosted Mini Wheats, a little bit in a bowl, and then I'll put some Honey Bunches of Oats on top. And then with some almond milk, and then I eat that.
I still go to my old classic Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Whenever I'm in the craving for cereal, I go to good old Fruity Pebbles.
As a young boy, did you ever have the Flintstone vitamins?
Yeah, I still have them now. The chewable adult ones.
You still have them now?
Yeah, it's chewable.
Shit.
That's part of my vitamin regimen that I take. It's my chewables. I take with my adult, daily men's vitamins. But yeah, I still get
you take it with your Viagra. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. I take Cialis. So, Viagra, Cialis, whatever. It's the same thing. Whatever. You get to 40.
I have like so many vitamins that I take. It's nuts. But yeah, I still do the chewable, Flintstone chewables.
That's awesome. I'm taking some chewable vitamin D at the moment. I don't notice a difference. Okay, but internally, I might be flourishing. Let's see. Mikey Son says, if it meant I died tomorrow from eating a cheeseburger, I would die eating a cheeseburger 100%.
My favorite burger when I'm in the mood is a mushroom bacon burger. When I'm in the mood for a burger, that's my go-to burger.
Dude, anything with bacon is fantastic. Yeah. I'd put bacon on
provolone
ice cream.
Cheese.
Do you want to hear something disgusting?
Provolone Swiss cheese mixed is really good with the bacon and mushrooms.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When I was
damn, now I'm craving a burger. Fuck.
When I was a teenager, I did this, and thinking of it now, it's like that's fucking disgusting. But as a teenager, it tasted good. I put bacon bits that get in salad and shit, right?
Salad, yep.
but they weren't like real bacon bits. It was the fake shit you get from, the store or whatever, right? I put bacon bits on top of Neapolitan ice cream. And the Neapolitan ice cream is like the three different, the vanilla, the strawberry, the chocolate, whatever. And I would eat that. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic. Now, I have not had it in about 25 years. Okay? Because thinking of it now, it's like, why? And at 40, almost 1 years old, it's probably not the best thing to do for my body. But I don't know. As a teenager, I was like, and I don't know why. Like how I got to that point. Was I going for the bacon bits and then decided, what the fucking hell, I'll have ice cream too? Or was I going for the ice cream and thought to myself, what the fucking hell, I'll have bacon bits too? I can't think of what possessed me to put bacon bits on top of ice cream. I don't know. It is a mystery it is one of the greatest mysteries of all time.
It is of an enigma.
Listen, there's the JFK assassination, there's O.J. Simpson, and there's Dave McRae and bacon bits right underneath. I'm telling you, it's insane. It's insane.
Oh, Dave and Tony, have you guys seen Peanut Butter Falcon? Yes, with Shia LaBeouf. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorite films from last year. Easily in my top 5 favorite films from last year. Such a good film.
Did you see it? No, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. I'm really hoping that it's Shia LaBeouf's sort of the beginning of his.
Well, he did that in Honey Boy last year.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he can get himself back on track.
I do too, because he's a really good actor.
He's a fantastic actor. He is. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, we'll take couple more. Take a couple more. Let's see here. Danita Brown says Corn Pops. You know what I like too as a kid, Danita? Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch. Nothing but sugar there.
Favorite conspiracy film, conspiracy theory of all time. Ooh. Well, I love the film, by the way, Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts. Love that movie.
That was what, 97?
Another good movie from the 90s. Yeah, no, it was the 90s.
Yeah, no, I think it was 97 or something. Hey, Google, what year did the movie Conspiracy Theory come out?
Conspiracy Theory was released in the United States on August 8th, 1997.
I was right.
97.
Yeah, I was right. 97. Chris Baber to the channel.
Chris Baber. Chris. I need you to message me because I have a question for you when you get a chance. DM me on Instagram.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Theory. Well, in general, I guess he's saying JFK is a quick one to come to my mind because I've read so much shit on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's easily the first. Would be my go-to one because there's just so much. I'm a firm believer that there was multiple shooters. I don't think that there was one shooter.
There's no way. No way.
And they had to have been marksmen because their accuracy, like literally, if you've let me tell you something. If you've never fired I don't care, any gun, period, you have the accuracy of the distance between John, in this case, and Jackie, okay, and to not hit her, okay,
a moving target
away
from you.
Yeah, you're talking marksmans, okay, that were targeted towards Jack and John, and didn't hit Jackie.
And at no other time in history would we have accepted the magic bullet theory. Like, come on.
No, because we were naive back then.
Of course.
We came out of Leave It to Beaver 50s where everything was honky dory and milkshakes and grease lightning.
That's right. Absolutely. I totally agree.
But that would be my conspiracy one. I mean, I don't do the UFOs that much, but I like watching stuff like that. Like,
maybe we should just step out of the box one night and do like a conspiracy show. Just talk about some
like
things
Zodiac.
Like that. Kind of fun.
Zodiac would be a good one. Zodiac's another one that I like.
Zodiac was great.
Yeah,
Zodiac
that's a great. It kind of falls into the killer, but it is conspiracy, like Jack the Ripper conspiracy as well too.
Jim Dorsey says, "Please say in your most over-the-top, ridiculous game show host voice, ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin is in the." Oh, okay, because the pumpkin is in the booth.
Now I'm gonna add a caveat to that, but it has to be Trump's voice, over-the-top game show host. Added that a little bit in there.
I'll give him what he asked for, and then I'll do that one. Okay. What am I saying? Ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin is in the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin is in the booth.
Do the exact same thing, but as Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin is in the booth, okay? The pumpkin is there. It's in the booth. It's tremendous. It's a great pumpkin. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Myers. Yeah, the Area 51 in the moon. I believe we went to the moon. I just, Neil Armstrong just strikes me as a dude who's just kept it real. You know what I mean? He just really just strikes me as a dude that kept it real. But that's my
okay, 2 more. We'll take 2 more. Take 2 more. 2 more. Let me see here. I'll take 1. Okay, here we go. Edwin A. Sorto says, "What's good, Dave and Tony? Have you ever injured yourself in funny ways?" Well, sure. I mean, we've all sort of stubbed our toe or awkwardly fell or tripped or whatever. I wouldn't say there's been anything that has stood out to me, though, that's been ridiculous.
I mean, anytime I whack my funny bone.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
not funny, but it sucks.
Yeah. I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I remember in high school, grade 9 or 10 or something, learning that the reason why they call it your funny bone is because the bone that you apparently hit when that happens is actually called your humerus bone. I don't know if now there is actually a bone called your
I know that.
Yeah, your humerus bone. I don't know if that is the bone you actually hit that causes that awkward feeling, but I remember my science teacher telling me that. And I remember thinking, that's amazing. Holy fucking shit. It was like the best thing I learned all year. All right, Tony, you got the last one.
Oh man.
What it's like.
This is not a question.
Having a Roni.
Yes, I do want to agree with Chastity Smith's comment here. The Pelican Brief is a great movie with Julia Roberts and Denzel. Yes, I agree. That's not a question. It's a statement. I'm just agreeing with you.
That's right. He's searching, folks.
I'm just trying to find someone that I didn't get to tonight.
I gotcha. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's always great to get some new people that have joined on. I agree 100%. I agree with that.
Ooh, what is the movie next week? I don't know. What is the movie? Well, maybe we'll let you guys vote on it again.
Maybe.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I'm looking for
Edwin A. sort of says, "Thanks for answering my questions, Dave and Tony. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye." No, I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm just kidding.
Remember that AOL back in the day? Goodbye.
Yes, I do. You've got mail.
I'm just scrolling up here. I'm just. Here we go. Dominic Venturino. Hey, Dave and Tony. What old black and white movie? As I spit into the camera, my apologies. Would you like to see?
So that was that wet thing that I got on my face.
What old black and white movie would you like to see remade today?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of variables in that. What old black and white movie?
Definitely none of the classics. I wouldn't touch any of the Bogart Cagney stuff or Jimmy Stewart. But I think that there's some movies from back in the day that Hollywood did that maybe didn't really hit a home run with, that you could take a look in the vault and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we could put a modern twist on that. I'm just trying to think of one offhand.
That's a great question. I don't know.
That would be remade. Let me do what Dave's doing, kind of cheat here for a little bit and see old black.
Yeah, because I gotta have a reference here when I look at this. I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of options. I think that, like, it depends on the story. There
really is. Like, if you really dig in the vault, of a lot of this stuff,
there's a lot of
there.
There's a lot of great stories.
Yes, stories, exactly. That didn't really maybe get it to the big time.
But they're still really relevant. And I mean, I don't know. I was going to say Touch of Evil.
Because you know what, too? I love, my favorite animation is the old 1920s and 30 type animation. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love that type of animation. More so than today's animation. In fact, I would prefer that type of animation versus today.
I agree that there's some. Yeah, it's hard to say what old black and white movie would I like to see, because if I really like the black and white movie,
then I don't want it touched, right?
then I don't want it touched. Like one of my, I love
Streetcar Named Desire. I would never touch that.
Oh, yes. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah.
All About Eve, Touch of Evil, like Rope, Rear Window, even though you can watch that in color as well.
What was the
Don't
other,
watch it in color, by the way. Watch Rear Window in black and white.
Brando one, not Streetcar, but Waterfront. Waterfront's
right.
Phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
And like I said, anything with Cagney and Bogart in it, and that old Hollywood, like it's tough because, you're talking about the best of the best, the legends of Hollywood, what started off. But I am a firm believer that yes, you could dig into the archives of this shit and probably find some stuff that really didn't do well and maybe do that. I wouldn't touch any of the gems though. That's for damn sure. I wouldn't go anywhere near that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with Tony there that if we took the time to actually dig deep, we'd probably find a movie.
Might even find horror films that didn't land that you had hey, fuck it, we can do it today.
Right. Like one of my favorite, and this is not old black and white movie, even though it's about 34 years old now. As a lot of you know, Harrison Ford's my favorite actor.
Hey, he's doing Call of the Wild.
He is.
I didn't know. I just saw the trailer for it, and that's like my second favorite book that I read in school.
But do you want to know what disappoints me about that? Is that it's a completely CGI dog.
Oh, I know. I'm like, really? White Fang, they pulled it off in the 90s with Ethan Hawke.
There's no reason why they couldn't. Listen, I understand that if you're going to have the dog leaping over, a river onto you CGI that shit. But you have a CGI dog just in an intimate room with Harrison Ford and the dog just talking. Are you kidding me? It took me out of the trailer. I love Harrison Ford.
No, I agree.
I'm still going to watch the movie, but it took me out of the trailer.
No, I totally agree. I just didn't know he was doing that. And like I said, it was my second favorite book next to Lord of the Flies.
That's cool.
Another great black and white movie I wouldn't touch.
That's cool.
Even though they did do a color version of that.
They did early 90s, which I actually didn't mind. But but Harrison Ford's my favorite actor, and I love all the classics, of course, like the Empire and the Raiders and the Indiana Jones and all that kind of stuff. The Presumed Innocent and Frantic and Air Force One, and I mean he's got so many. But one that I love that I think might be one of, if not my favorite. Witness, of course, was a great one. He was nominated for his one and only Academy Award for that.
Is that the one with him and River Phoenix?
No, I'm about to tell you the one with him and River Phoenix is The Mosquito Coast.
Mosquito Coast, right.
And that movie is so good. Helen Mirren is his wife. Right. The two redheaded girls from The Great Outdoors are his two daughters, I believe.
That's right.
And River is his son. And when you watch that movie now, you realize this was a movie that was ahead of its time. Like the shit that he's talking about and the shit, like basically the crux of it is that he's fed up with life. He thinks it's bullshit. He's this crazy sort of, inventor that's probably too smart for his own good. And he buys this, was it an island or this town or something. He becomes the mayor of this town in buttfuck nowhere in the jungles of Africa or something. I don't know where it is now. I forget. And he goes there and literally there's nobody in the town. And it's just, and when I say town, I'm talking about like a couple of huts in the middle of the jungle. Mm-hmm. And he thinks it's great. He's like, this is great. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. He's like borderline cult leader. Like if he had, like, he's just strange and weird. Great performance by Ford. One of his best. And, anyways, the
River, man. I mean,
River's amazing.
He had done Stand By Me, but like now you were like, holy shit, this dude's about to, take off and go places.
He was, because he looked up to his father and he believed in the things that his father was telling him. But then what ends up happening is that, and I'm not going to give too much away, but he ends up sort of becoming what he was running away from, right? So it's, you give him that kind of power and that kind, anyway, watch it. If you've never seen it, which is, it wouldn't surprise me if you've never even heard of it, because it's one of those ones that slipped under the radar, but it is a great movie and I mean, again, it's dated. Let's not forget it's 1986 or something. But it's one of Harrison Ford's best performances. And it was great. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. All right, guys, that is going to do it for Tony and I here on episode 50. What are we? 53. 53, episode 53. Here on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. You can find me in the links below, of course, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Tony Michael Photo and Tony Michael Pics below his photo. Tony, any last words?
No, man, this was another good episode tonight. Had a lot of fun. It follows, it just reminds me of how good of a movie it is. And we'll have to think of what next week can it be. Like I said, maybe we'll do the vote again. I had fun with that.
Absolutely.
Pick up two.
I agree.
Movies.
We'll do it. We'll definitely do it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Take care. Have a good night. Don't forget to follow us on social. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.